Hello, everyone, and welcome. SmashBoxxTV podcast 600.
Big ol' even number, Terry. Welcome back to the United States to join us for episode 600. You're my special guest tonight.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. So the question is this a reprieve or are apologies needed? I'll thank you first for carrying the load here over these last 8 of 10 weeks or so since I've been gone. But yeah, I have to really mentally gear up for the tour.
Yeah.
And then for the United States, just in general. Not just the U.S.
Well,
not even.
It's a little hairy out there right now, Terry.
I'm just saying the disc golf in the U.S.
Sure.
Obviously, my brain has been laser focused on what we've been seeing for the Asia Tour and the inaugural year of that, and it kicking off, and fun and excitement, along with growth, development, very professional, exciting things going on. Also, a lot of laid-back shenanigans and a lot of fun. It had absolutely everything, which, again, could be dedicated to its own mini-series, probably, of a podcast. But just generally speaking, kind of putting all that aside for now, and then coming back into a tour that's 2 events down, and just a few days from now, going into our 3rd event of the season, which feels so weird because I haven't worked any events yet in the U.S.
And so I guess my first question is for you, what is the first event you're working? Is it Champions Cup?
I believe it's Champions Cup.
Okay.
I had a brief conversation with some of the personnel over at the Disc Golf Network yesterday, and I have another meeting scheduled tomorrow. And I think some I's are going to get dotted, T's are going to get crossed. There's been some adjusting and shifting that's been taking place with some roles and responsibilities among some of the personnel. And clearly there was a lot of off-season chatter in general about where different media or talent was going to be, so to speak.
You were fired, rehired, fired again.
I think so.
I think rehired.
I had no gigs, and then I had a bunch of gigs, and now I don't know how many gigs I have. So, somewhere in there is an entire mix of things going on. So hopefully there will be some official clarity that I can report back to in about a week. But as of tomorrow around noon Eastern, I'm going to have a meeting that I think is going to help just kind of put to bed a few of the lingering questions and or things that need to be clarified for me personally. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I'm trying to get locked in so I know what's going on.
So do you have any clue what's going on in the world of disc golf? Like, as far as the first 2 events, I know usually if you're not involved in the events, you kind of just barely pay attention, a little on the periphery, because you are busy doing other things like being in Asia. But Are you familiar with any of the storylines?
I think I'm pretty well. I think I have some idea. And
do you know who Sticky Wysocki is?
I've heard of him.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a quick side note because I'm not beating any of that with a stick. I don't know. No,
is it a dead stick or a dead horse?
Right. I'm not even here to talk about that at all.
I know.
All I am here to talk about, with kind of as a olive branch away from it. No. As a slight extension of that was happening just as I was returning home from China.
Mm-hmm.
That event had happened the same weekend I was in China for an event as well. And I know, you don't need to give me your internet voice, and no one at home needs to roll their eyes. But what I will say is, getting off of a plane to come back to the U.S. to see the fighting and the calls for people's heads of all varieties, to see the accusations, it really was disheartening. And I know the internet is going to internet, right? We all know that.
Terry.
I have been, dare I say, I have been subject of the interneting on me.
We've all been the main player at one point.
But to come back and to see so much turmoil and divisiveness and just people just with all their chest in every facet, right? In every corner or whatever stance you're on. I'm not even taking stances here. I'm just saying it really.
But if you need to clear your stance, you're allowed
right.
to do that.
It really hurt. I was like, what am I coming back to? And I know
you're coming back to people who are
passionate and there's
eager
drama
for disc golf, and there's all this built up and pent up emotion because we had an entire off season. It's really funny because going along those lines, I hear so many people during the season when you have 2, 3, or 4 events in a row, like, ugh, just can we spread this out a little bit? I'm kind of sick of the disc golf. I don't need to watch this every week. But yet, these first 2 to 3 weeks, I have heard nothing but, man, I kind of miss disc golf. It's not on the air this weekend. I'm really jonesing for it. I really liked it when we had Vegas and Memorial back to back, and I get it because we are more. First of all, we're more eager in the beginning of the season for disc golf,
yep.
And on top of that, there's so many of us that on any particular weekend, like say last weekend, I might have 8 inches of snow in my front yard, and being able to watch these players down in Louisiana is a pleasure. And when there's not a weekend of disc golf and I'm stuck and there's 8 inches of snow, and I'm kind of like, what do I got to do? Spend time with my family?
Book a ticket, go to Thailand?
Come on. So I can understand how that is. And so people get all revved up and they really want something to talk about week after week. You get to a week like this past week, and there's not a heck of a lot going on worldwide for the tour.
Right. And as we all know, I think some of the feedback that's come in throughout the last few years is trying to find that special amount of just the right amount of spacing. Mm-hmm. Spacing so that players and fans, volunteers, tournament directors, so that everybody has their workable range to be within. And we're not necessarily on top of each other every single weekend, but also we need to give these players time to travel. We need to be in the right places. They've tried, I feel like, to really be cognizant of not having events leading into majors and then after majors. But don't we have one right after a major in like 2 weeks?
Yeah, and it depends on the major. If you're talking about U.S. Women's versus
I'm talking about Champions Cup, and then like the week later is Jonesboro.
Yeah.
So we don't have a week off, which
I don't mind. I less mind a week off after than I do a week before.
Of course.
Because guess what? If you don't want to play Jonesboro, don't play it. It's a little bit tougher when you're rolling into a major. But
yeah. So at any rate, I understand we're all trying to figure those things out, and then obviously the it's less grueling overseas during the summer, which I'm sure plenty of our European players are thinking, man, don't cut back on us being here. This is our home turf, and we want to play as much as we can here.
And this is why, and we're going to get to Silas here in a brief moment, this is why a lot of the Europeans are showing up now.
Right.
Because there was an event. They'd have to get here probably a week early, and there's an event, and you've got a week off, and there's another event, you got a week off, and there's another event. Not that they couldn't hit A tiers, but most of them want to come in and then come in hot.
Yeah, and get their bang for their buck.
Exactly. If they're going to be here and spend time, they want to hit some big A tiers. They want to hit, obviously, the Elite Series and try to stack them up. So I think as long as the season starts like this, we're going to have the split field at the beginning of the season with a lot of the Euros.
Yeah, and I think...
Not all of them, but a few of them.
Yeah, I think back to a couple of years ago watching Henna and Evelina come in a little bit later, Kristen come in an event or two later, and then you have our things like the Disc East, Disc South in this case, that may or may not entice some people to be here or take a weekend off, all those things to consider. Well, someone who didn't take a week off decided to defend a region, a state, whatever, throwing things down and doing it in very exciting fashion. None other than Silas Schultz joining us here tonight, champion at the Pot of Gold. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome.
Honestly.
I mean, not as awesome as you are. You've had yourself a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. Am I super choppy?
You're a little choppy, but your audio sounds good, so that's what matters to us primarily.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Well, let's start with some basics. Of course, first of all, congratulations on the performance. Playing in we'll say this neck of the woods, back-to-back weekends, being in this part of the country. How does that make you feel in terms of going into an event? How does that make you feel?
In reference to like Louisiana?
Yeah. Just, knowing we're there, knowing, a pro tour event, also then an event the following weekend. What's it like being in this part of the country to get your season started?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's pretty like almost unbelievable. Like we had almost no DJ events when I was growing up. Like we've had 2 A tiers ever. I guess this would in Louisiana's history. Like when I grew up, it wasn't that cool to have a PDGA number because we had Southern Nationals, and so
Right.
like there was no need for that. Like my PDGA number could be much lower than it is, but we didn't need PDGA numbers. So like it was it's like mind blowing to see an event of that scale happen in you know what I mean. So like it was just crazy. It was super crazy, and I think everyone had a really great time in New Orleans, regardless of what they thought of the course or whatever. I think everyone was like had a great week and was excited to come back.
Well, let's start there, and I'm coming from a place of ignorance, which is nothing new,
Okay.
but
all the time.
we see the tour welcomed over to there to Parc des Familles. We see the tour there. Obviously, lots of conversation and enthusiasm, this great battle, everything else. And then it shifts to a very long-standing event that's, I think, been going on literally since, like, Johnny and I were 15 or 18 or 20. It's been going on forever. Kind of just compare and contrast the Pro Tour versus this well-established, long-running A-tier. Like, how do you break them down?
Yeah, I mean it was super cool. Like the Pro Tour was like it was sick. It was very Pro Tour. It was very professional. They had so much. I mean, the course is full of the assets and the advertising, which looks really good. You know what I mean? I personally had like more media and obligations than I do most weeks, just because I was kind of the home. So put me on a feature card, and so I was like, playing in front of a lot of people and like people I knew, which was really cool. Like people I grew up playing against and seeing at tournaments and stuff like that. So it was very grand. Like it was very grand. It was very cool. And then you get out to like round one of the Pot of Gold, which is a super, like you said, super historic event. And like there's all the assets are gone. All the bleachers are gone. It's a Friday. No one's everyone's worried. Final round we had it was very vintage Pot of Gold. But round one it felt a little bit like a ghost town. And then round two, it's just like they're putting, this A-tier Pro Tour track, and it was kind of insane, But we played the women's tees round one, which was super fun, and then we played the big layout round two, and then we went to City Park for round three. So I would say round three felt very vintage Pot of Gold, all the faces that you would expect to see out there, and then rounds 2 and 3 were very interesting.
Explain to everyone. I had the pleasure of finally actually being there and filming that event probably 4-ish years ago now, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. It was my first time being down there in that area at all, actually, for disc golf. And what has that event meant to you in terms of how many other years have you played it, and what's your history with that event, knowing it's such a long-standing event?
Bro, I mean, I don't even know how long it's been happening for. The trophy is a big cast iron pot, and it's got the names of the winners since 2007. So that could be the first one, or that could be the first time that the trophy was implemented. I don't know for sure, but since 2007, it's been an event, and I remember playing when I was probably 11, and it's just a Southern Nationals event. I remember seeing Matteo and Cameron Koblazer and John Fowler David Wiggins and Bear Johnson, all these guys out there, and I'm like a kid, you know. And I remember they didn't have juniors at this tournament, so I would play advanced, you know, and I would like it was just hard for me to cash, you know, because I'm like 10. But like it was cool, and it was cool to see like the big dogs there, and you know it was cool. I remember one year they gave Matteo his payout in gold dollars in the pot of gold, and so like that stuff was so cool. I remember like every year they would have jambalaya for lunch and wings and homemade cobbler. And so you would like finish your first round, you would go feast, you would play your second round, you'd come back, and then you would feast again. And then because I was a little kid, I just ripped distant shots into the field over and over and over again, and people would just like kind of watch. And that was like so like I have like a lot of memories at Lafayette Park and at City Park. And then I went on tour and I didn't really play it, but it was always like a goal to win that one. You know what I mean? Like it felt like as a kid it almost seemed impossible. And then it felt like at some point like it's only right that I actually win this at some point in my life. And last year I was leading going into the final round and Matteo came back and got me. And so I was like, that might have been my one shot right there. And like I knew like maybe I'll get him eventually, but I wanted to get him in his prime, like when he was still scared, you know. And so I was like, I don't want to, you know, if I win and he gets like fourth, that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I have to best Matteo with great golf. And so this year, like to accomplish that, and then him hand me the pot. I mean, it was so cool, and it did mean a lot.
Silas, real quick, would you do me a favor? You've got some static on your mic, so I don't know if you can. I don't know if you want to refresh the browser that you're in, or just wiggle the mic thing. I'm not sure, but you're just coming in. You're coming through with just a little bit of static.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna refresh.
All right, cool.
All right, we're gonna lose Silas for just 2 seconds. I was out there and made a post to let the world know that we've got our guest on here tonight. All right, looks like he's back.
Is this refreshed?
Way better.
100 times better.
100 times
call.
better.
Let's
Thanks.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now,
Probably just a weird connection, but
yes,
thank you.
All good.
Yeah,
So ultimately, you won by 4. And looking at a couple other very recognizable names in the field, you won by 4 over Matty O. Yakub, you had by 5. Freddie Meza, you also had by 5. Then we see Ty Love, J.J. Campbell, Clay Edwards, Silas Williams. So some names, your brother sneaking into the cash line, it looks like, just down there as well. So certainly some names there. What were the conversations had about the players that were there versus players at another event or players taking the week off? Like, what were some of those conversations leading into, this particular week on the tour so early?
Yeah, I mean, I know like the tournament staff and a lot of people who run the event, Nathan Farber, who is a big component of having the Big Easy Open and kind of heading that. And they're always like, yo, bring your tour buddies with you. And I'm always like, no, I'm trying to win.
There you go.
Like, I'm not pulling up with Gannon and Sully and Gavin the Avengers. Like, I'm not bringing them with me, bro. I'm trying to win. I got to beat Matteo in New Orleans. I'm not adding competition to this. So, I mean, for me, it could be anybody in that field, and I'm just trying to beat Matteo because I know he is 100% like the most dangerous out there, and even when I've just seen him chase down so many people in the South, and so like he's a different kind of beast down here when he's in New Orleans. I feel like so, especially on an A tier, like yeah, he's very comfortable. He knows everybody. Everybody wants him to win, even though I'm from BR and hour away. Everybody wants Matteo to win, so it's like he was the main one I was worried about. But obviously, a lot of talent with. I mean, the lead card of Freddie, Jakob, and Matteo. I mean, those are some elite players.
Right. Yeah, and I did just double check. It was 2022 was the year that I was able to get down there, and no surprise, Matt Oram was your champion in that particular year, the one year that I was there, and able to film it all out there on my channel. Looks like quite a few haircuts ago. Anyway, you have to understand, like, there's certain parts of the country that no matter what, like, you're not uprooting like that particular homeboy or homegirl, right?
Well, because Matty O's been there for 30 plus years. I mean, you and I met Matty O when he was practically in diapers.
Right. So no matter what you do, no matter how good you get or are, that homeboy, that hometown crowd is gonna pull for him forever.
I mean, he has his name as the first one in 2007. He also had 2025. So, like, I mean, that just shows you how scary he's been terrorizing this event for years.
Right.
I mean, I was telling the crew that I'm staying with, and we're staying with Ellie Ezra, and she's like, I was born in 2007. I was like, yeah, he won then, and he won last year. He still came back and beat me. I had multiple strokes on him with a whole final round to play, and he still got me. Like, that's how deeply rooted he is in winning the area. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to do.
Well, I'll follow that up, and of course we associate him. He was in some of the, he was in the news. We did a little video last year breaking the news that we were going to be coming down to New Orleans and having the event down there in the first place for the network. Now that we'll say back-to-back weekends are complete there in these two events, what's your takeaway? What goes into your notes or diary for, to look at before 2027 rolls around? What's your takeaway after a couple weeks there?
I mean, it's been some awesome weeks for me. I mean, I've really enjoyed it and soaked it up a lot. I talked about it on the vlog that I posted, just a shameless plug to my vlog.
Fair enough.
I'll
take it.
I watch. I enjoy it.
Hey, let's go.
So.
See, that's how you'll know quality content. But I mean, I talked about it on there. Like, I didn't know what being in front of like the hometown crowd would be like, and then like hearing the cheers on hole one after going, it's Matty O, Calvin, Simon, me, or Simon, Calvin, like something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like fan favorites, rightfully so, hometown favorite. And then when they said from Baton Rouge, they couldn't even get anything else out before people started yelling. They had to have them calm down a little bit, and then announce me and my sponsor, and like there was this big roar, and it was just so cool to just to represent Louisiana and to have Louisiana like appreciate that, you know what I mean, and like feel them backing me. Like that was something that was just a huge takeaway, you know what I mean, for me. Was just like I want to put on for Louisiana, and I love that Louisiana is rock with me. I mean, some other takeaways, like the course was there was a lot of opinions on the course, and I think like and I think the event as a whole, it's just like, people were critiquing the course. It's very difficult. It's a very different kind of course. But I think afterwards, the takeaway is like the course is nearly the best. You know what I mean? Like it's not far from being awesome. And I think everyone is excited to come back to New Orleans next year to play the course after slight adjustments, and then also to be in New Orleans again. I mean, like I had one day where I went to Cafe Du Mont, a Pels game, a crawfish boil, and a pro-am all in one day. You know what I mean? If that's pretty peak for me. You know what I mean? That's a great day. Also, my sister, shout out Esther, who got a shout out on the coverage for being the #1 FPO player of all time from Louisiana. She had my little niece that day, so it was just best day ever. I became an uncle. I was at a Pelicans game. The Pelicans won, which is even more of a miracle than any of those other things that happened. So, yeah, I think like it was an awesome couple weeks, and then to cap it off with like a good performance and a little cash in my pocket and a trophy with my name on it. Like it was an awesome couple weeks for me.
And speaking of a couple weeks, I'm looking ahead at your schedule, and I kind of always ask this question if there's anything that is going to be out of the ordinary. But I'm looking at your schedule, and this is pretty much exactly where I would expect you to be as I look at the next few months for you. Is there any we'll say off week detours or excursions or extra things that are planned, or is what we see, what we get here on your PDGA schedule.
Yeah, I mean that's my life right there. That schedule. I mean that's a lot of what I'm doing. I have an off week after this, before Champions Cup, and
Hmm.
so I'll be spending that in Cary with Anthony Bedanza and just
Hmm.
shooting some videos with him. Would be cool. So there's some content from that, as well as just like editing and working on whatever content I get done or filmed this week, and then it's just Champions Cup and all kinds of stuff, and I'll be home briefly, and then flying to West Coast and flying back, and then flying to West Coast and flying back, and then heading to Europe this year. That's new for me.
Yeah.
So that part's exciting. But I mean, this is in the years past, I've kind of eased into tour. You know what I mean? Like my first and second year were not like full schedules, but at this point, I mean, it's my job. It's what I'm doing. So that's mostly that's it right there. I don't have a whole lot of other stuff planned. If I'm not playing, I'm editing. If I'm not editing, I'm filming. If I'm not filming, I guess I'm sleeping.
Well, speaking of your job and what you're doing, what exactly is your what are your obligations? Obviously playing golf, but outside of
Right.
that, what other obligations, contractually or even just personally, do you have?
Yeah, I mean, obligation number one is to ball out. You know what I mean? That's just play well, practice well, and be disciplined with my game. That's like kind of that's the moneymaker right there. Everything becomes easier when you're shooting better. So that's kind of one of the main focuses. I vlog all my tours, and so that's Johnny V knows that's it's a little more cinematic. It's kind of a grind, you know what I mean? And so that takes a lot of editing power for me. Or like for the Tuesday, Monday after, that takes a lot of work. And then I'm a part of a ministry on tour, so like I got a Bible study I'm running tomorrow, and then we'll have a chapel on Thursday, so I'll play drums for that, prepare a Bible study, and that's it, but it feels a lot. I do have, I guess, contractually, not like I don't have a whole lot of media obligations contractually, but it is something that I do put a lot of effort into, you know what I mean? And in the future, we'll probably be doing some more types of different videos and stuff for MVP. But yeah, it's golf, ministry, and then just making and cranking out as many videos as I can.
Yeah, honestly, I love watching a lot of the different disc golf videos. I'm becoming a little bit more of a fan after the last couple of years where I stepped away from watching almost any other content other than Alden's channel. I always loved watching Alden's channel, but your content is different than I think any other person out there right now, because we've got the practice rounds and you've got in the bags and you've got all these other, you've kind of got, as I say, like the Alden and Gannon, a little bit more wacky style. Yours is much more or closer to documentary style, I would say, with a lot of really, it's very polished. Everything from the graphics to, the cinematic shots, and it's what you would expect of a small team, to be honest. Is that a conscious effort to put that much more into it? Do you feel like you're getting out of it what you put into it?
At this point, no, I'm not seeing the return at all. As far as like the amount of effort, because I mean, last year I did vlogs for all the events, and they did like no numbers. You know what I mean? Not because they weren't good, but because I didn't really understand YouTube, and so like I went YouTube side, but they're like if you want to go watch. So at this point, no. Now I am monetized, and I do like I got a check from YouTube today. That's sick. You know what I mean? It's super cool to see that. So now I'm starting to, and to my friends who don't, I could say I'm a YouTuber. It feels real because I actually do make a little bit of money off of it. So that gives me a little bit of validity and clout there. But no, I mean it's very polished as much as I can. I just really hate putting out anything that I do not feel is excellent or that I don't want to watch. And so like it's I do put a lot of effort, you know, into it. But it's also just kind of my style. And so I don't know necessarily any other way. I guess at this point, this is just how I operate. But it does take. I mean, people ask me, you know, like, how long does it take to edit them? And I'll be like, a week, you know. But now I'm getting faster. But I mean, I'm cutting between 2 and 3 hours of footage in a timeline into 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And so like, it's just not easy to do that and tell a cohesive story that kind of blends well. You know what I mean? And so just trying to get like a full picture of what my life looks like, you know. And so it's I you know, last year I was a little bit more film everything, and I had a lot of content. I'm a little bit more picky about what I'm shooting now this year, which makes my job a little bit easier when editing. So yeah, but it takes, you know, a decent amount of effort, but I genuinely do enjoy it, and I feel like I'm building a good foundation for a future on YouTube. So that's kind of some motivating factors, I guess.
I'm going to put on my tech nerd hat for a second. What are you editing on? Mac, PC? What software do you use? Are you doing, you know, because you're one of the only ones that's putting out some of this good, like just the style that you're putting out with the words on the screen and how you frame them and where you put them. What are you using to do that?
Etch-a-Sketch.
This is this is good. People need to know these things because I get asked a lot. Okay, guys, I shoot on my iPhone in log sometimes. I also shoot on a Sony 6400. I have 2 lenses for that. I just learned how to use it recently. The camera. I know how to like change the settings and stuff on it now. So that's a big W for me. I have a tripod from Best Buy, and yeah, I edit on a Mac. I don't know which one, but it's a pretty nice. It's a nice one. Actually, right before Champions Cup in 2023, I said I need a Mac. So whatever I get from this payout, I'll use for my Mac. And then I got 4th, so I bought a nicer Mac. So yeah, and then I edit in Final Cut Pro. So those are the basic specs, I guess, there.
All right, good. I mean, that's the things that some people, you know, maybe very few, I don't know, but that's what some people want to know. And
they care.
Because again,
you care.
You know, people do care. That's probably an M1 Mac is my guess. 2022, maybe an M2, one of the newer chips. So
yeah, I think it's an M2.
Okay, M2. Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong though. It's silver.
Well, yeah.
Well, that makes it faster.
I mean, the only one that is faster, of course, would be the gold one.
Probably.
Right. I mean,
rose gold?
Yeah.
Got to get the Apple terminology right, Terry. You're not an Apple guy.
So I think there's probably either a misconception or maybe it's a fair assumption that's just inaccurate. I guess that's the definition of misconception. That you're under some obligation media-wise to your newest sponsor, or your new sponsor of this year in MVP.
Right.
And by what I gathered, what you just said, that's not necessarily the case. There's maybe projects and things that you will consider working on or future ideas, but right now you are not contractually obligated for certain things with MVP. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's fair. But then also like it's a very interesting move, and everybody wants to know how I'm, you know, going about building a bag and what I'm throwing and what I like and what I've tried and what I think and, you know, all of these things. So it was kind of just like a no-brainer to do a build bag. I kind of walk people through that stuff. I've been putting out those videos, not necessarily like in collaboration with MVP, but just on my channel. And honestly, the reception on that has been crazy. To me, the stuff is not that interesting. It's more interesting now that I'm like trying new things, but like in the bag, not that cool to me. But like people really care, and so those are some things that I have been doing, and I still have one more to make next week. I'm gonna make it. It's the distance driver video, but it's that part has been very interesting to people, and the response has been really cool, and the community is amazing, and it's been very helpful with learning disc and knowing what to throw and everything. So yeah, not necessarily. Definitely not contractually obligated. Might get contracted to do videos. That stuff is a little bit up in the air at this point. But nah, just like for the love of the game, and I do love MVP, and I'm really enjoying my time with them and my learning curve of all the discs and everything. And so it's just something I want to make videos about at this point, I guess.
I'm not here to just to besmirch any
Uh-oh.
sponsor, but was it more special to win this year's pot of gold than versus last year's pot of gold? When this year's pot of gold was sponsored by MVP, last year was a different sponsor, a non-manufacturer.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think it was a little bit more special. I have a couple of discs from the event, you know what I mean, that I was able to go through and pick out. So I got some proxies and some hexes and a couple other things with the stamp on it. So those things are special and very well might make the bag. So yeah, I would say it was a little more special than if it would have been last year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And understandable that you had your mindset or your heart set on the idea that you're also having Matty O in the field. There's definitely a possibility he could have taken a weekend off. Obviously not that likely in this case, but I mean, he could have, the tour could have been constructed different where it just kind of made sense for you to be home, but the tour moved on or something. But with the idea that you were there, Matty O was there, you had a couple other very legitimate contenders that were there. It was, I think, that much sweeter for you. What did I see? 242 total people. The MPO field was 29. I think the FPO field was 4 women. Do you feel like there's I don't want to say a lesson to be learned. What's the ticket, or is there even a concern about like the number of participation or how the divisions break down or anything like that? Is there anything that can maybe be learned or encouraged? To see more participation? I know you're not trying to invite top level players, but
stay away, y'all. It's not that great.
Who wants to learn 3 courses? That's crazy, right?
Right. You don't want to play all these courses. They're not beautiful. They're not well kept up. The tournament staff isn't amazing. The artwork isn't good. The people aren't very kind and loving. You won't find great food near the course. And there's a lot of wild animals on the course, snakes and gators and such. So I would say, yeah, don't pull up if you're that good. But honestly, if it was me and Matty O only in the pro field, it would have felt the same as good. I feel like
awesome.
It really would have. So yeah, I think I could see it growing as an event more next year once people just have the opportunity to play the course after the Big Easy. You know what I mean? I think that's
right.
That could be a fun trip for a lot of people to see, like, oh, here's this course, and then I can go compete on it next week and spend a week and a half in New Orleans or 2 weeks in New Orleans. It could be fun.
What A-tier event? People are spread out, whether they're here taking a weekend off or playing even other A-tiers. What would be your advice to tournament directors or clubs that are watching or listening to this when they're at home right now thinking, okay, well, we're not at pro tour level, we run a good B tier or maybe we run a good A tier right now. What would you, if you're talking to potential A tiers trying to put on good events to attract players that we'll say on these off weeks, I use in air quotes, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I say, if you don't have an established event, you got to add some cash. Like, if you just add cash, we're there. You know what I mean? I was talking to Matty. You see this other, side of if you are established, you don't have to add cash.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to beat half a Pro Tour field to make the, A-tier minimum. So if you want to separate yourself, especially as a younger event, going above and beyond on fundraising and adding cash, even if your course is maybe not there yet, the pros will show up. You know what I mean? That's where we need. That's what we need. You know what I mean? Is we're trying to make some money, and we might be trying to, off week playing at A-tier is a great time to rest a little bit, but then also flex the muscle of playing for a win. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that very often on tour. Pretty much haven't done that, but I can still kind of keep my my I don't know, stay a little sharp in this area, at an A tier competing for a win. So I think it provides a great opportunity during an off week if you don't have to take it as serious, but you still get to compete that way. And so I would say add cash is like like the number one way. And then and if you're already established, I mean, you just be the great community that disc golf is. I think that's another thing that holds a lot of value. It's being able to host pros, being able to just go above and beyond the small things. Like I think that does go a long way and keeps people coming back.
And it's funny because I was actually going to ask about course difficulty, challenge, length, all of those things regarding the course. But quickly, I saw for your 3 layouts this weekend when it was all said and done, the first round was played at 9,400 feet, which is on the shorter side of a pro tour weekend, but 9,400 feet. Second round was played at 12,370 feet, which is effing insane. And because that means you're averaging 750 feet a hole, I think, if my math is right off the top of my head. And then the final round, you're almost literally half that at 6,900 feet, which you could find at a lot of your local courses, a 6,900 foot layout. So I guess it begs the question, what course do you want to play on an off weekend or on a A-tier weekend? What do you want to play? What do you think the other players want to play?
I'll tell you what I don't really want to play is the 12,000 or whatever that middle one was. I mean, that was exhausting. After a whole week of that, my final round finished. I said, look, I love this place. I'm so excited to not play that again.
See you next year.
Playing the women's layout, super fun. Pretty similar to the course before its redesign and enhancements to make it a pro tour course. And then the final round, just a straight up, your average park course. You know what I mean? And so I think what pros want, just, it can be just your best course, in your area, whatever that is. What they don't want is to play 3 different ones. And some, I think some AMs, and I don't mean this like I don't say, sometimes we say AMs and it feels, I don't mean it like that. But some people, they want to experience a lot of disc golf on the trip. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I want to go play this tournament. I want to play all these courses. A pro tour player in his off week, I don't want to do that. Like on Thursday, I drove an hour and 40 to New Orleans. I played PDF, the blue tee boxes, and then I drove to New Orleans, or I drove to City Park, played that course, and then drove home and then played them all the next day. And so I just don't want to practice for 3 courses. You know what I mean? I probably want to take a couple more days off. I want to play 1 course, maybe 2 courses. You know what I mean? But mostly like my ideal off week is probably like your best course in your city, all 3 rounds with some added cash. I mean, and a decent field. I mean, that's good for me. I don't think anyone's asking too much more than that.
I kind of made the joke. Well, I have made the joke, and it's a little bit self-serving, but I've said, did a tournament even happen if it wasn't filmed, if it wasn't covered? And then I had asked you just in coming on the show tonight, because obviously I had seen that you won, and then I thought, wait, did I see a post about it? Did I see any coverage of it? Unfortunately, coverage teams were spread out, doing all sorts of things this weekend, it appears, but no shot-by-shot coverage of the event. Is that what we arrived at, though?
Yeah, that's true. So I guess that would be another draw. I think it's always good for us and our brands to be on any type of coverage. You know what I mean? I think that does enhance it and help us out. So I think that would be a draw. But yeah, for me, nope, no coverage. But that just means it can live on in infamy. Oh, Silas, he did this and that, he threw it to here, and there's no actual evidence of whether it happened or not.
Oh my God, he made every shot. He was putting from circle 3 nonstop and cashing them all in. I mean, it'll just all be stories, and
the stories will grow.
I don't know. Prove me otherwise. Do you have evidence to say that I wasn't doing that stuff? So I guess that's one way to spin it. But
we don't know how long the putt was. Might have been huge.
Well, nonetheless, it's awesome to see you have the performance that you did in that setting, in that a state, region, whatever you want to call it, all of the above, and clearly something that you'll never forget. So very cool to see.
I have a quiz for you, real quick.
Okay.
We on the DGBT they talked about Esther.
Yeah.
Being the most winningest female in Louisiana. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Do you know how many Schultzes are PDGA members in the state of Louisiana? What the number is?
That's a great question. So first I got to think about which all of my siblings have PDGA numbers. So it'd be like Thunder, Esther. I don't know how many of them actually do, but I also know of some other Schultzes in the state of Louisiana.
Right,
too.
right.
So I would, if I had to put an over underline. Dang, because like, how many Schultzes are there without a PDGA number who I've never heard of from Louisiana? Can't be that many. Can't be that many.
I don't know.
I don't know. Dang. I'm gonna say 14.
Ooh, you're close. 16.
Is that low? Dang, I almost said 15. I wasn't gonna say 16 though.
So now,
okay, that's pretty good.
The question is, how many of those 16 are from Baton Rouge?
That you're related to?
Well, I don't care about related to. Yeah, probably all of them, but how many of them are from Baton Rouge?
Dude, I'm trying to think because I know only the youngest hasn't played an event. So that would be 10. But I don't think all of them have PDGA numbers necessarily. So I'm gonna say Thunder does. I'm gonna say I do. I don't think Chloe does. I'm gonna say Simeon, Cedar, Mercy, Lee. I'm gonna say 8. I'm gonna say 8 of them.
12.
Is it 7?
12.
We all have them? Oh, because my dad.
Thunder, Silas, Simeon, Esther, Dylan, Chloe. No, I'm sorry. I almost said John, but he's from Belchase. Bernadette, Cana, Cedar, Mercy, Lily, and Eden.
You know those people?
Dang, I did not know my mom had a PDGA number. Bernadette, that's my mom. I didn't know.
her PDG number is 104474.
Yeah, and clearly somebody was in the middle of signing them all up, and someone snuck in because it goes 474, 475, 476, then 478, 479, and then 481. So two people snuck in. Well, somebody was registering the whole family. 2 people got online and broke up the order. Which is so funny.
That hurts. That so hurts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
I should have gave a better guess to that. I forgot my parents. That was messed up. And then I didn't think my sister Chloe was in there either.
Some Norwegian got in there in the middle of all of those.
Ricky Filippi.
Yep.
And then was 478 was the other one?
That's so hilarious.
Nope, 40478 is
80.
80. Hold on, let's
see who else interrupted. Who else is kind of family adjacent to the Schultzes?
That's right. I mean, he's basically.
I think they can come to family dinner.
Right. Yeah, Philip Hathaway. Philip, you're invited to the family dinner.
Right.
He's out of Idaho.
Where's Philip from?
Yeah.
Come on
from
down.
Nampa,
Philip.
Idaho.
Don't play the Big Easy. That's awesome.
So Thunder's PDG number is 56,000. And then it jumps to yours at 79,000. Do you know how long that was between you two signing up?
Yeah, it was. I believe Thunder got his so that he could play Junior Worlds in like 2015. Was that his first year? Do you know?
Yeah, you can click on it.
I can click on it. Thunder's first year was 2012.
2012.
2012 he played the Red River Rendezvous in intermediate.
Okay, good call. Yeah. So Thunder, he started playing some more tournaments, and then he was trying to get to Junior Worlds, and so, but still at that any like sanctioned PDJ events, we had all Southern Nationals, so it wasn't necessary for me to get mine until a little bit later, which is sad because I could just be like, jumping onto some easier cards out here on tour. I still have a pretty low one, but like it would have been, I could have been chase cards and maybe a couple league cards and every now and then, or just waking up a little bit later. But yeah, so it's so he had his for that, and it was funny because he played one event that was in his rating before playing Junior Worlds, which I believe was a pot of gold. He averaged like 970. He had like 2 rounds in his rating, showed up to Junior Worlds, and then wins. And beats Adam James and Gavin Rathbun and some other dudes. And so, so he kind of was undercover a little bit. Just a guy who no one could have ever really predicted playing that well. And he just came out and killed him. So, yeah.
So with I especially as the doubles conversation is happening, with regard to Preserve, and we keep seeing new teams released, you're rated 1030. Your brother Thunder, who you're just referencing, rated 1012. Is there ever a day that you two could be a brother combo as good or rated better than the Robinson brothers? Ooh. Is that ever in your sights?
That's a tough matchup for us. That's a tough matchup for us. However, if it's bring all your brothers,
okay,
we win because we have the ringer, which is my brother Simeon, who is actually retired from disc golf at like the ripe age of 19, but or he might be 20 now. But he's very good, and he stopped playing, came back. His backhand's perfect, and he rips now. And he's always been a great putter. His unfortunately, one of his not a claim to fame, but he played against Gannon in Junior Worlds the first year Gannon played and got second. He lost by like 35, and so it'll constantly you'll get a graphic every now and then. Will be like Gannon wins Junior Worlds by 35 when he's 14 or 12, and Simeon's the one who got second to that. But Simeon is very good. So if it's just like you show up with your brothers, your family versus my family, we play best shot. I think we can do some real damage there because we have 3 very solid players and they only have 2.
Yeah, because they have another brother, right? That's
They have multiple other brothers. I think. I just don't think they play as much.
Okay, yeah, family style. You're whooping them.
This is what I want. I want the Robinson Schultz team tournament.
Right.
Team battle. Everyone bring the Eula Berries, bring Earharts, bring whoever.
The Ricos.
Else. Ezra can bring his brother. Judah, I don't think he plays, but he can bring them. You know what I mean? And it's just best shot family doubles.
You get the Jenkins Doss, marriage combo in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And low-key, the Robinsons, they still might win. They're coded. But
you got Michael too, the dad, who's just, he's solid.
He's pretty good.
He's
pretty good. But I think we'll be there. We have a couple good moments. Like we have all 3 of us were lead card at an A tier once, which has got to be maybe one of the only times 3 brothers have been lead card in an MPO A tier.
For sure.
We've all won a B tier at least. So like that's got to be another one. All 3 brothers winning an MPO B tier. So we have a little bit for the trio of us. But yeah, I don't know. It's the Robinsons are so good. I don't know where we catch them. Like they're gonna make everything.
Well, again though,
that's why you got to play alternate shot.
I was just gonna say when you as you guys
Simeon, we'll catch up on you on hole 7. We're playing alternate. That's your next shot.
Every time you guys force another team to add another player, you guys are always gonna have the advantage. Your family just runs deep, right? So
yeah, if we go alternate shot triples.
Right.
We're in a good spot.
Yeah, exactly.
So with you being a new uncle, is the first present a PDGA number?
For Pelican,
I don't know.
Someone suggested on the board because the Pelicans won, so is the name Pelican?
Is the name Pelican? No, the name's not Pelican. Yeah, I don't know. Esther is sort of retired at the moment, as well. Being a new mother, and she's working and all that sort of thing. So I don't know. She hasn't been out to play in a while. I don't know if the baby's PDGA number is en route or not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's the gift you get them. I mean, that's
yeah.
That's what Uncle Silas does. This way, he or she has a PDG number in the 300,000s or whatever.
Yeah,
before it gets too high. Like, oh, if Dad would have got me, or if
if she wants to be an FPO player, she could just, I would have got her. You know what I mean? She's playing against all these other people in 20 years, and she's got the low PDG
right,
number.
right.
Yeah, that could be good.
So
the cool move for me.
I was just gonna say, if we're gonna talk cool, I have to bring up the fact that, because of course I know all the kid lingo these days. Like they can call you an unk now.
Yeah,
like
unk.
How does that feel? Right? Like that's not considered a compliment right now with the kids lingo. But you're an unk.
I'll take it though. I'll take it because this is like it's a valid reason to call me an unk. I turned 23, final round of Champions Cup. So that little unk, like I was into my unk era a little bit, but I feel like because I'm now an uncle, I can embrace it more.
Okay.
So I'm not mad.
Okay.
Yep. And this is the first time you're an unk?
First time, yeah. I've only been an unk for a few weeks.
All right.
Well, looking forward to it. Champions Cup. Wow. We opened the show by saying that's the first event I'm going to be at this year. I'm going to be on the ground, which means I'm just going to come to you and ask for insight so I can pass it off as my own. So I'll ask you for insight every day. But Champions Cup, why not go big and just ask, like, what would it mean to take that major down?
Dude, it would mean so much. Like Champions Cup, I feel like it's the black sheep of the majors, kind of, like who wants Champions Cup? If you had to pick one, I love Champions Cup. I care about Champions Cup. And so I feel like for me, like I have, that was the first place that, at WR Jackson in 23, like that was, one of the craziest weeks of my life, playing well at Champions Cup, and unfortunately that course is no longer with us, but, I do love Champions Cup. There's always, even when it was in Stockton last year, like there was something about Champions Cup, that's exciting to me. So, literally my dream is I win Champions Cup and then we all go get Mexican food at La Carreta afterwards, which is the place in Lynchburg. We will go to La Carreta regardless, because it'll be my birthday. But like I win, La Carreta on me, and that would just be awesome. So it would mean a lot. That Lynchburg is super cool, and like the course there is scary and long, but I like the woods and stuff, and so I think it would be awesome. You know what I mean? It would mean a little more to me than I think if someone else just like, oh, it's champion. Cannon wins, it's just Champions Cup. But me, I would love it.
Okay. Well, I guess to kind of go off a tangent of that would be, of course, share as you can or wish to, but every contract now, I feel like, is getting a little bit more personalized, is at least what I'm under the understanding of. Is your contract focused on finishes? Is it focused on, we'll say, consistency? Some contracts I feel like are really just heavy on wins and almost nothing else matters depending on how long you've been around. What would you say your contract, how does it benefit you the most in terms of how it's structured or geared?
That's a good question. I think I don't think there's like a real obvious agenda throughout the contract itself, but I feel like with MVP, they really they want to sponsor good people who represent the company well and who are able to be likable and move product. You know what I mean? Like that's their thing is very much like, we want you to be yourself. You know what I mean? We want you to because that authentic part of you is, and you portraying that is what people resonate with, and ultimately what kind of grows the brand, as MVP. It's just a lot of authentic people throwing their plastic. So I feel like in that vein, there's really the only push that I feel from them is to be authentic to me, and they're gonna just support me in that. So like make your videos. We love your videos. We want to see you do content like that. It wasn't like, hey, we want you to make a build a bag series and we want you to monetize it this way and like we want you to say these things. It was just like, look, this is something that we feel like you'd be good at. If you want to do it, go for it. You know what I mean? And we'll support that. So I feel like that's more the energy. And I think, they've been super understanding with like, look, overmolded discs fly differently than non-overmolded discs. Like there is a little bit of a learning curve there. So like they're patient in that. They're not saying like, listen, we need some roots, you know what I mean, right away. They're very understanding in that. And honestly, like I'm pretty surprised that, I'm growing them this well this early. But like it's just been chill in that way. So I feel like it's not like they're very supportive for me to just like, I guess, be myself and follow my dream. So like they would be stoked to see me win. They're stoked to see me, just be myself, I guess. Like it's okay, I played bad or whatever, but we liked your video, and like that holds value as well. You know what I mean? Like I didn't play great in Florida, but I made a pretty sweet video out of it. You know what I mean? And was able to connect with some people and get my feet wet and things like that. So I feel like that's more the underlying tone of it all.
What I didn't hear you say is they make the best discs that fly the best of all time. Is that just
a given?
Is that just a given?
That's obvious. That's obvious. I don't know why on earth dare you'd think I'd throw anything but the best discs.
Okay. Well, if that's not the plug, I don't know what is. I love it. All right, Silas. Anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to share before we cut you loose? You're signed up and geared up. I assume you're over there outside or around Charlotte right now, right?
Yep.
Anything else
around
us
today? Man, I don't know. I'm excited for Charlotte. It's my first time playing Hornets Nest today. Pretty exciting stuff. Kind of old school golf. A lot of fairways, a lot of mids, a lot of gap hits, a lot of trees, a lot of ground play, which is the opposite of 2 weeks ago. No ground play. Now we're getting a lot of slides, which is cool. I've been enjoying my MVP discs. We'll have some drops coming in the future of some jerseys and plastic and things like that. I want to shout out my sponsors, Armory, as well as MVP. Armory, great retailer out of Texas, and they're distributing a lot of my merchandise and things like that. So if you want to support me, there's links for that, and if you want to buy some hats and things like that, they're all sold out. I'm sorry, we'll make more. But yeah, I'm excited for this week, and I already talked about my YouTube channel, but if I'm not plugging it, but if you guys are like, oh, this guy's interesting, I want to see what his life is like. That's what I do. I document it, you know what I mean, and kind of take you along the journey. You can see what that looks like. It's just my YouTube channel. It's Silas Schultz. I throw a lot of MVP now. It's pretty awesome. Been enjoying it. They take really, really good care of me, and their discs are phenomenal. Shout out to Matty O. Shout out to 225 New Orleans. Shout out Pot of Gold. Shout out Terry Miller. Shout out Johnny V. I edit in Final Cut Pro. I don't know. That's all I got.
We'll end on this one maybe. Is there time for a love life out there on the road?
Time for a love life. I don't know.
Besides the love of frisbees and the love of God, is there also potentially time for a
relationship?
Yeah, a more than plutonic relationship.
More than platonic relationship. That's an interesting question. I would say, I am a busy man. You know what I'm saying? I do, put a lot of time into the grind, getting money. Following God obviously as well. I mean, serve God over money. But is there time looking? No, but I'm not like against it. Like this is just like it's just tough. I mean, the logistics of trying to gain a not platonic relationship while on the road, pretty cooked. You know what I mean? You're never around. Not even home, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's rough, you know what I mean? But,
okay.
Is there time? Nah, but, you could try to figure it out, I guess, I'm not saying it's,
we all have,
easy.
I subscribe to the, we all have the same 24 hours. So you make time for things that you want to make time for. And
Sure.
And if you're saying there's not time for that, that's okay. That's a perfectly acceptable answer.
I guess that's valid. I guess I don't.
I see some of your friends with with significant others, and you're a 23-year-old, and just I didn't know if that was and I know it's got to be difficult out there. And you got to decide if being within the disc golf community is a viable option or not, right off the bat. Like that's
right. How do you explain that to a girl's dad? You know what I mean? Yeah. I play
well, I mean,
golf.
if she's an aspiring disc golfer or an established one, then there's no explanation needed.
Well, it's like
if she's not there,
you're just like, have you seen my pot of gold? I beat Matty O. I
beat Matty O. Do you know who that is? Trust me, it's a big deal. All right.
Well, there's the meme of like the guy walking into the house and introducing him to the dad. It's like 2 frames, and it just says, "Hi, I'm a disc golfer," and then there's the dad with the shotgun. It says, "Get out," and that's all there is. It's just
right. And I'm like, don't worry. I make money making videos too.
Right.
Okay,
I'm also a YouTuber.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Get this guy out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess some people they've done it though. It's not to say it hasn't been done. It happens for sure. For sure. Me personally, though, I'm kind of married to the game. You know what I mean? So, I gotta. I don't want to cheat on the game. You know what I mean?
It's faithful. Man's faithful.
All right, man. It's like you took PR training somewhere. All right, Silas. Of course, again, congratulations, not just on the incredible win this last weekend, but all of the successes that have come your way, all of the accolades and praise that you get. Very well deserved. You've been working hard for it. We all know that. It's been incredible. Johnny AV and I have had essentially a front row seat to most of your career, all the way back to winning vehicles and NADGT and all of those AM days.
Yeah.
Nearly a decade ago, which also sounds crazy to say. Because you're
insane.
an unk
that
now,
insane.
right? So
yeah, I'm unk.
Yep. He wanted trunk, now he's an unk.
Right.
That's his career path.
And you're talking to us old guys.
That's my 30 for 30 right there.
Right. But seriously, congratulations on everything. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, personally and in person. I'm saying I'm looking forward to seeing you. But best of luck to you this weekend. Have fun, shoot well, and let's put it here and now. You win, this upcoming weekend.
Right.
We have to have you back Tuesday. I mean,
we'll have you back. Yeah.
We'll double up. It's deserving.
Okay.
So
that's the deal.
Let's just set it. I know you're not into setting dates and having dates, but let's set a date for next Tuesday.
Wow.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Jeez.
I'll make time for you guys.
Okay.
Right?
So we'll set a date for next Tuesday, 8:00 Central, and we'll have you here as a champion from Charlotte.
That sounds perfect. And somehow this will be the beginning of the vlog if I end up winning. So we'll see.
It doesn't get any better than that. All right, we'd be honored. All right, Silas, have a good night. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to see you in a little while, Terry.
Appreciate it, man. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
The Unk.
You think the nickname can stick? He doesn't have a nickname.
Probably got his own. Well,
I mean, I'm sure. Like family-wise, they probably have nicknames
they
for
have
each other.
To.
I mean,
they're like, "Hey, you, oldest, aren't you one of the oldest?"
I swear, my aunt, she had 5 boys, and but she would just, if she wanted to get someone's attention, she just ran through the names.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just Jason, Marvin, Leon, Danny, Timmy, one of you come here. And there was usually 1 or 2 around, so they all ended up walking over, and she only usually wanted 1, but she would run through names. And so poor Bernadette, she's going through, that's like, it's going to take a while. I wonder, I didn't ask him, were there any Schultzes that don't have a PDGA?
Well, that's what he was saying. He was saying he thinks there wasn't.
Okay.
I
missed that
part. As you read through all 38 of them, I don't know if one of them felt like it missed, but he was saying that some don't, but I think he was surprised.
Yeah, I know he was surprised at 1 or 2 that didn't, but that's...
Well, I guess real quick, I mean, my kids, I only have 2 daughters, and maybe this happens because they're daughters, or they're of the same sex, that I'll say, hey, Al, when I mean Ken's, or Ken's when I mean Al, and then, of course, they give me a hard time for it.
Yeah.
you have 2 kids, but are of opposite sexes. So do you ever
Never.
accidentally blurt out? Okay,
No,
I feel
never.
like it's easiest to do, of course, when they're even same sex and
Of course.
right.
You
but
know, that thankfully doesn't happen to me, but only because of that. So
all right, real quick, we'll cap off a few of those results.
one last question, Terry.
Right.
This is the quiz for you, and I don't know if anybody knows this answer. Has there ever been a player to win a major on their birthday? I mean, if Silas does it, it'll be his birthday at Champions Cup. Has there ever been another player to win a major on their birthday, like that final round? Not just have your birthday on like
that week or
Thursday and then win, like, oh, this is a great week. Literally that Sunday or Saturday, whenever the event finished for that particular year, this is my birthday and I won. I thought maybe you might know, but
off the top of my head, I'm obviously thinking about who's won the most majors lately and thinking of Paul. Paul's birthday's in July, and we haven't typically. Now, did he maybe win like a European Open one year in July? I don't think so, but otherwise, he would come to mind, and I wouldn't think so. Of course, he having the most active majors right now. Excuse me, right now, and then I think of Gannon's birthday's in May, mid to early May, and again, typically haven't seen majors in May because we've been seeing Champions Cup in usually April. I guess last year maybe it was in May in Stockton, but they've usually been. Now, has there been a woman that's won? Val's got a ton of majors, and her birthday is in May. Has there been a woman that's won?
Doc Zen says Google says that Owen was the closest to her birthday weekend, but not on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-MPO or FPO, I would assume that's happened somewhere. Like, and I look at
like a major.
I look
like
at
an AM major
or a U.S. Women's.
Or US women's.
You have all those different divisions.
Mm-hmm.
A U.S. Women, or like you just said, an AM Nats, an AM Worlds. I would all but guarantee somebody has won a major on their birthday. I would just think that's had to have happened.
Yeah.
When you think about all the AM majors, if you include all of those, you include, of course, we've had U.S. Women's taking place. In October, I always think about, obviously, USDGC, pretty limited as to who's won, and I think about Doss's birthday's not then.
Kenny and Barry's
birthdays.
Nico.
Felberg's birthday's not then. Nico's is not. Will Schustrick's in May. James Conrad is in May. Sexton is in May.
Gannon, Germ.
Gannon's in May. Yeah. So I don't. Germs is in November. So I don't think that's ever, that one in particular has ever been one. That would. I'm guessing though, when you include all majors, AM and Pro, and all the different divisions, I would think the numbers.
It's got to line up somewhere.
You would think.
All right. Okay, that's all the quizzing for today. I stumped both you and Silas, so I feel good today.
With answers you don't know.
No, I don't know. Well, I knew the Silas answers because I had it
right
up, but I don't know the answer either. I didn't claim to. All right, Silas Schultz wins the 2026 Pot of Gold sponsored by MVP Discs. Congratulations, Silas, and MVP Discs. Second place, Matty O, as we discussed, by 4 strokes. Jakub Samarad in third place, tied with Freddie Meza. Fifth place, Ty Love, who has had himself a pretty good last couple of weeks. We got to see Ty at the Big Easy quite a bit. He was making a little bit of a name for himself. So he's only, and I'm putting that in quotes, 1024 rated, but he's on the climb, we'll say. Sixth place, JJ Campbell. Seventh place, Clay Edwards. Eighth place, Silas Williams, spelled differently, and a tie for ninth between Henry Bente? Oh, no, sorry, Henry, and Ian Burchett. So that is your top 10 in MPO. FPO, Owen Scoggins, crushes.
What?
Yeah.
Owen?
Yeah, she won by 21 strokes. She won $500. She shot a 975, a 983, and a 986, besting Zoe Andike. So good to see Zoe out there. We haven't said her name in a while for a tournament. I know she's busy a lot of times on DGPT events, but it's nice to see her get out.
Yeah,
and,
I
and
exchanged.
shoot.
I'll just tease it out there a little bit. I exchanged a
Oh.
message or two with Zoe actually just today, coincidentally, not even recognizing this. It had gone down, which they're talking about their fundraiser that we saw in Stockton last year. Remember when we went live and then we were actually showing off and people were bidding? I think they're doing something similar. I'm going to get more details from Zoe, and then I think actually that's an event I might physically be at. So I might be able to be there and help tuning in to the show from there.
That would
and
be nice.
Working with them and coordinating and
All
everything
right.
else, but we'll work on all those details. But what a really cool fundraiser that was last year when we checked in with the different groups. You know, we saw Silver and Kristen doing their painting. We saw Germ and Jules doing their painting. We saw the Dosses doing theirs. So, I think we're gonna maybe see something like that again for this upcoming year.
All right, our other A-tier events this weekend. Discraft presents Spike Heiser's North Carolina Disc Golf Championship 15, supported by Grip EQ, period.
Nailed it.
Do we need a period? Grip equipment? Is that because it's abbreviated, or is that because it's like the end of a long sentence, basically? All right.
I thought that was a dissertation. I thought that
it could have been. Tournament director Chuck Conley. This is over in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, United States.
Been there.
I have not. MPO. Luke Sampson takes this one down, shooting 39 under par. His round ratings were 1035, 1048, and 1053. Second place, Parker Welk. Third place, tie. Three-way third place tie. Blake Poland, Evan Smith, and Kyle Kriekhaus. Sorry, Kyle.
Like
I'll
Creek and
never
then
get
house.
that right. I know I won't. All right. Sixth place, Andrew Cochran. Tied for seventh between Evan Walker and Dallas Garber. Ninth place, Tony Mo Rice. And a three-way tie for 10th. Oh, you guys are lucky there's a three-way tie. Matt Thompson, Bobby Burridge, and Ian Prajna. Sorry, Ian, I'm sure I demolished that one too. On the FBO side, Emily Weatherman wins by 8 strokes over Katrina Allen. In third place, Jennifer Smiley. And in fourth place, Taylor Rowley. So that is your FPO field. Congratulations to your winners. Maybe they had chicken dinners.
Chicken dinner winner. And real quick, I saw a brief posting about it, and I'll admit I do not know the details. I don't know that I need to know all the details, but big love and hugs to Kyle Kriekhaus, along with his dad and his mom, Margaret. I believe Kyle's grandfather recently passed away, is what I saw on Facebook.
Way to bring the place down.
Hugs, love. You clearly a very tight-knit family, so fortunate to see that, but
Of course.
love to you guys.
Our final A-tier of the weekend is the Central Jersey Open, presented by Innova and Heiser Media. This was over in, what is it, Manalapan, New Jersey? Sure.
Haven't been there.
Me neither. I'd like to. Seems like a fun place. It's a fun thing to say. Your MPO, Dylan Capicoli, shooting 9 under par, taking home $1,043. Second place, Lucas Hess, Chris Villa. Fourth place, Evan Boyle and Austin Freer. That's your top 5. Going over to your FPO, Michelle Gallagher wins this, taking home $328. Karis Fisher. All right.
Yeah, not missing a letter.
Okay, I wanted to double check. Karis Fisher in second
Unique
place.
name, very unique
yeah,
name.
197. After just rattling through all the Schultzes, like they've got some unique names in that family too. So,
Steve Brinster holding off Kevin Gleason, and I think at one point, if you scroll up just a little, or maybe it was, or I apologize, maybe it was an MA1. I know there was another Brinster in the mixed, and Leighton wins. So pretty cool. I saw the post earlier that it was potentially going to happen, but Steve Brinster, Dad, aka Dad, old USDGC winning Steve Brinster, takes down MP40, and then his young son in the range of like 14, 15-ish takes down MA1. So congratulations to the Brinsters for that, the double up on the wins. How cool to go to a tournament with your dad and you both leave home champions in your respective divisions. And Clearly, it's happened in a few cases.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yes, I saw mom/wife Leslie posting about it earlier in the weekend.
I'm just scrolling through some of these names and just the Hall of Famers that are like
right.
Mike Mosier
right
in the field, Joseph Mela.
Yeah. Little Joey.
Yeah, just
I mean, that's such an iconic area of the country where we see in that New England-ish, upper New York, all that general area, and then you think about the places like where I ran the tournament, Bucks County in New Jersey, where that course was a Tyler State Park. Wow, it took me a second. Tyler Park, and then meeting a lot of these people in going to Philadelphia, or then, of course, seeing some of these other legends in places like Worlds and USDGCs. So, yeah. Quite a few names. Love it.
That's all of our A tiers for the weekend.
Okay.
There was some announcement from the DGPT this weekend or this past week, and it is about the doubles event.
Yes.
We've got some team names, Terry. I want you to rate them. Or if you can, come up with a better one. So, post it on social media. And actually, I think I could probably just look at the PDGA page as well. I think they've got them on here as well. I think they do. Hold on, let me check now.
Okay.
That's an event when's the doubles event? In
August in the Preserve. And I believe, I'll find out tomorrow, I believe that's one that I'll be working as well on site. The 17th weekend, I believe.
All right.
The 17th.
Doubles
challenge. The 14th through the 16th. And do they have
yep, they do. They have team names.
All right, so even easier.
Some of the team names here. 18 majors and counting. Macbeth and Barella. Good one? Mediocre. I'll tell you what. That Macbeth is carrying a lot of that load.
You think so? Really? Which is obviously part of the humor to it.
I think so.
But that's not my favorite name.
It's okay.
I feel like it could have, when you're talking about the caliber of player that AB currently is and has the future of, and you're talking about then obviously one of the greatest ever, arguably the greatest ever, I feel like the team name could have been better.
Could put a little bit.
I've got as I just rip on him, I got a Macbeth update too.
Okay.
Not competing, spoiler alert, not competing this weekend.
Oh. Ooh, yeah, we'll get back to that.
SmashBoxx exclusive. I'll give you more on that. Let's
I
go
have a
through
theory
this.
too.
I bet you do.
I do. 4 meters of man. Conrad and O'Reilly.
That makes me chuckle.
That's
I'm gonna go with totally fine.
That's great.
Yeah, you're talking about Connor O'Reilly and James Conrad. Well,
there's 2 tall guys. 4 meters of man.
Obviously, I get that. I'm just thinking like the names. No. Is there another way?
Don't
to
try
go,
to portmanteau them together.
No,
I'm
good with that. I'm good with that.
Okay. Apparently playing by himself.
Backhands
Bobby
only.
Burridge, backhands only. So he's maybe looking for a partner.
Okay.
Sexton Colon, Big Sexy.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. It's classic.
Right.
I give it like a 7 out of 10 because everyone knows it. And you're not doing any better than that, but it's not like the best name.
Right.
Because it's been around for so long. It's iconic. Bob and Dwight. It was Kale and Austin. I don't know the reference, so...
I'm guessing
like
those
Dwight,
are middle names.
Maybe, because it's Austin Dwight
Turner.
I did know that.
I don't know if Kale's middle name is
maybe it's
in
Robert.
fact Bob or Robert.
Maybe it's Robert.
That would
Maybe
make sense. So
Kale
they went
Robert.
middle names?
All right, I don't mind that then. Bob and Dwight. All right.
Maybe it's just our age, but when you hear Dwight, the only thing
Office.
you think of is The Office.
Yeah.
So to have it not be an Office reference, seemingly...
Mm-hmm. Maybe Austin will dress up like Dwight for the doubles event.
Yeah. Okay.
Break 50, which is Yessie and Albert.
Do you get it?
No, not at all.
Okay. Is that a...
I don't know if they're trying to break 50 as a score at the Preserve.
Right.
I would hope so.
Maybe.
Best shot doubles.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe not. Bucket O'Hare, which is Gavin Phillips and Joseph Anderson. So you got Joey Buckets and Gavin Phillips. Gavin with the giant
big
hair.
Yeah, okay.
Wyatt Mahoney is Burridge and Mahoney. So they are a team with two different names.
Oh.
I'm assuming Bobby Burridge. Maybe they just wanted two names. They haven't decided on
Yeah.
which one.
Okay.
All right. That was confusing because they're all sorted. C-tier Stompers, Freeman and Carmichael.
That's kind of funny.
I like that. Cardinal Birdies, Elijah Bickle and Kevin Fodry.
Yeah, because I apologize, but I believe Kevin's the owner of Cardinal jerseys.
Okay. That makes a little more sense then. I'll give him that
I
one.
apologize. I don't know Kevin. I don't think I know him personally, but
Sure.
I believe he might be the owner, and I think that's where that kind of comes from.
All right. We've got another solo, Jake Hebenheimer.
Chasing snakes.
Chasing Snakes. I'm assuming we'll find someone else who's paired up with him later.
If he's with Jake the Snake Roberts later from the WWE,
geez, yeah.
then you know you're old because you get that reference.
Okay. Chicken Tacos, Chris Dickerson and Mason Ford.
Okay.
Chicken and tacos.
Robot.
You got chicken in Mexico, or I'm sorry, Texas.
Yep.
So we got Mason Ford. Course Maintenance, Aaron Gossage and Ezra Aderhold.
Play on their
Probably their
preview videos.
Their preview videos, yeah. I don't think they're called Course Maintenance videos, but
no.
they do their thing. So I'm okay with that. Or maybe because, they do like to give a lot of feedback about the courses.
Yeah, I think it's
during
all within that realm.
You got the classic, kind of like Big Sexy, Crush Boys.
Right.
Simon and Eagle. There's nothing else. You could probably go with that one. That's where, a good solid 7 or 8 out of 10. Just like, then you go, here's maybe one of my favorites. Check yourself before you clay yourself. So you've got Jakub Semerad from the Czech Republic and Clay Edwards.
I'm good with that.
All right, Dallas.
What I love is there's a very much at least a funny play / attempt, and I'm good. I'm good with it.
Dallas Garber and Some Old Guy, which is Garber and Stokely.
Okay. His main sponsor, I believe, in Stokely Discs. And
DGA Dogs, Sullivan Tipton and Cole Ridallen.
Okay.
They got their sponsor in there. Dogs,
Well, Dogs a play on sports teams.
I mean, just everyone. You call someone a dog.
I know, but
our whole team's a dog.
I think
all these guys.
I think. Okay.
All right. Fairway Enforcers: Bradley Williams and Levi Stout. I don't know. I don't know if there's a special.
Bradley's more clever than that. I'm calling for an upgrade.
Okay, calling for an upgrade on that one. Frisch Unlimited: Paul Kranz and Calvin Longquist. I don't get that one, but I'm sure there's something behind it because otherwise you have.
Because you're Unk.
Maybe, yeah. Do
I
you
don't
get
it either.
Okay.
No, there's definitely something we don't understand.
We are
there.
both Unks, by the way.
Whether it's an inside joke or whether it's posted on socials that they know and we just simply don't, it's clearly something I don't think we're getting.
Here's the other half of Jake Hebenheimer. We got Hebenheimer Chase from Harry Chase.
So hence Chasing Snakes makes that even better because it's Harry Chase
and Jake
Hebenheimer
Jake the
who loves
Snake
snakes.
Hebenheimer.
Or he just loves snakes.
I'm assuming it's Jake. Like his name rhymes, Jake the Snake. I bet you people call him that. And he got the whole.
Yeah,
snake.
I mean, and he sleeps with snakes in his van.
Yeah,
but Chasing Snakes is that much more clever.
It makes it better now
because he's with Chase. So I do love that.
All right,
even more.
Heimberg. So that's Calvin Heimberg and Gannon Burr. So that's you throw the Berg in the middle of Heimberg.
Okay.
It's okay. Solid.
You're talking about two of this generation's greatest.
I mean, honestly, a favored team.
For sure.
Both.
It could be more clever.
All right. I'll give you that.
It could be.
It's Modelo time. Nicholas Gill and Austin Bates.
Okay.
Cade Jumphreys. Kevin Jones and Luke Humphreys.
If you're looking for name mashups, I think that's as good as you can ask for.
I don't mind that one
Jumphreys.
because one of Kevin Jones's iconic shots is the jumping off at
Jump at Jones.
Yeah, Jump at Jones. But also there's even the PDJ commercial where they have the kid on the slide and he's jumping off there. So I don't mind that one. That one's okay. It goes a little deeper. Nicola Castro, Jeremiah Dwyer, LaCastro Dwyer,
Yeah. I mean, that's just their last names.
Exactly.
Maybe it's just a placeholder. I would expect something a little better to come of that at some point. That's his nephew, by the way. Jeremiah Dwyer is his nephew, who's very, very solid player, probably in the 990s, maybe even cracking 1,000 these days. He's got to first renew his PDGA number.
Maxime Tanguay and Ben Holden are Max and Ben. Jacob Blair and Matthew Alexander are MJ, just their first two initials. In a week, if you ask me. Evan Scott and Braden Sides, MK Glazers. I don't know. I mean, I understand the term Glazers. I don't know what MK is, so maybe there's a reference there that I'm not sure about.
Glazers, yeah.
They're both from South Carolina, so maybe there's something to read more into that. The Mon brothers, Jake Mon and Ryan Mon.
Mon brothers, okay.
I think you could have done a little bit better.
Yeah, there's something more clever hidden in there somewhere.
Andrew Marweed, Luke Taylor, No Mish, All Makes, Michiganders. I like that.
Clever.
I like that one. I'll take that one. Gavin Babcock and Nicholas Antala, Nuggets.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Parked for the Ace, Joey Tamale and Eli Swanson. That's a Midwest team right there. That's Minnesota and Wisconsin pairing up. But not a bad team name. Wysocki and Hammis are don't have a team name. They're just Wysocki and Hammis, so we got to find something better for them. And here's the problem. We've got Isaac and Ezra Robinson. They're the Robinson brothers. So we've got the Mon brothers and the Robinson brothers. Again, I think you could have done something better, Robinson brothers. I think so. I mean, like
there's something there.
Robinson.
I mean, I haven't put any thought into these prior to this moment.
No,
but
I know.
They have time.
Yeah,
there should be better. There should be. Maybe we initiate it. There should be awards for best and worst team names.
Okay.
We've got time for that. Somebody hold us mildly accountable for that later in another show.
Send it and save it. Carter Aarons and Colin Bryant.
Okay.
So, tall and slim, Corey Ellis, Kyle Klein. Who's tall and who's slim there? Because Corey Ellis fits both of them. I don't see. I mean, I know Kyle's
slim.
He's
not necessarily tall.
I don't see. It's funny because I don't consider him slim. Like he's in shape, but like Corey Ellis looks slim and like skinnier.
Kyle's like this big.
Is he?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he doesn't look malnourished or anything.
Yeah, two fat guys like us are talking, but I'm just saying.
I mean, Kyle's a pretty slim kid. Yeah. Again, though, could be more clever on the team name.
Okay, Team Bob, Silas Schultz and Ty Love. We could have asked him. I don't understand it, so maybe we'll get that. Team Lemonade, Chris Clemens and Thomas Gilbert. I'm sorry,
Lemonada.
Lemonada, like Lemonade Canada. So, not bad. Team Parker Yulee, Parker Welk and Paul Ulibari. Weak. Get something better. Team Turku, Vino Makala and Rasmus Sakapuri. Sakaripi, sorry. Team Turku, not bad. It's just a city name, though. I think you can do better. Texas Twists, Zach Nash and Chandler Kramer, not bad.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
The Bad News Boys, Matt Orm and Casey White. I like that one. I like that because there was always the joke that Matt Orm was like the bad boy of disc golf for a while, with him and Barsby going way back in the day. So I don't mind that as much. The Zacks, Zach Melton and Zach Arlinghouse. Okay with that one. It's not great, but it's okay.
Again, as clever as Zach Melton is,
he could do better. He'd do better. Okay.
Is Zach Attack better or worse?
Oh, better. That's better.
It's better than the Zacks.
Yeah.
Exactly what you need.
Yakety Zacks or something like that. Like
Yakety Zack, don't talk back. Yeah. Anyway,
we can do better. We can do better.
Again, this is not our job. We are not professional competitors nor professional namers.
Hey, there's some exemptions. You and I should get in there. That would be interesting. We've got Thompson and Brown, Harper Thompson and Brandon Brown have not come up with a name yet. Tree Magnets, Lucas Hess and Jesse Longnecker.
Okay.
It's okay. Triple G, Garrett Girthy and Greg Barsby. It'll pass. Twisted T's, Trevin Crow and Tanner Boggs. A lot of T's in there. So, and then over on the FPO side, we'll quickly go through these as well. Two Hot Geese.
Yeah, again.
Solid. Just like the Big Sexy, just like whatever. Ada Hollis, or Ada Halls.
Mm-hmm.
Holland Hanley, and Addison Woodard. Alan Saarinen, Katrina Allen and Silva Saarinen.
Yeah, don't quite have a
Don't
name.
have a name
or-
yet. I actually thought about this one. I think we go cat and mouse.
That would be
'Cause you-
more spot on.
Yeah, because Silva Saarinen, a little, someone might say mousy as far as
Right.
her demeanor. You know,
Not
so,
probably a reference they have in Finland, but yes,
Probably
once
not.
explained,
yeah,
seems fitting.
yeah. So that's the only one I've thought about ahead of time because when I was scrolling through, they were the one that didn't have it in the thing. California Girls, Owen and Taylor Chosik. So I'm okay with that one. Causing Rivka, Raven Klein and Ella Hansen. I like that. Craving a Win. This is a good one. Sarah
Yeah.
Hokum, Hannah Wynn. Sarah Hokum's disc is the Crave.
Right.
Got Hannah
right.
Wynn. That's a great one.
That might be
The best one so far.
right. And now to be fair, Hannah Wynn has an incredible sports athletic
Yes.
name in Wynn. Anytime your name is Wynn, kind of like having Eagle in your name.
Yeah, or
When you play
forehand,
disc golf
or, you know.
yeah, Colin forehand.
Yep.
So, but nonetheless, they absolutely took
They took
full advantage of it. And I think currently that is the leading name of either division in terms of creativity / best name so far.
I'm good with that. Emily Weatherman and Eliezer Midling, Eminem,
Clever with the
EM and EM.
right instead of just M and M, EM and EM. So yeah, I can appreciate the cleverness.
Paige Pierce, Missy Gannon, Goat Money.
I
don't
that one's
like
not
it.
my favorite.
No, I think it's bad. I think you can do better. Especially I'm a little disappointed in Missy Gannon, who always shows up to these conferences when they do with the clever, I Heart Cox, and then I'm with this. Like, I think Missy Gannon and Paige could do better there.
Yeah, that could get workshopped.
Like, we can mold that. We can figure that. Golden Pines is Kona Montgomery and Maria Oliva. What I should have done is just read you the names of the teams and had you guess who was on them.
Well, a few of them I've seen and I
Okay.
would have remembered, but yeah, okay.
Cat Dog, Cat Merch, Chandler Ray. Locked In, Candice Burge, Ida, Amelia, Nessa.
I think it's MLA, but SA. But anyway.
That's what Charlie kept saying.
Oh, really?
So yeah, he kept calling it like Amelia. So, but I mean,
it might be.
for the longest time I was saying Emily, but
Yeah, it's definitely not that.
I know, yeah. So,
Anyway,
all right,
Locked
they're
In.
locked in.
Locked In is 1 million. Locked In is right there with Unk in terms of kids slang these days.
Sure.
Yes, it's been a term that's obviously been around, but it is right there as 100% popular
It's
pop
timed.
culture reference.
It's timed. I like that. Yeah. Madison and Danny, which is Madison Tomeno and Danny Hart. You can do better, girls. Sharkbait, Alexis Kerman and Emily Yale. I don't mind that. That's fine. Sting Slingers, Kelly Fossler and Jennifer Smiley. Talk Birdie to Me, Lisa Fakis and Jessica Gerthy. I like that one. I like Talk. I'll give that number 2 in my book.
That is currently also the name of I believe a Finnish or Norwegian female disc golf podcast.
Oh, well, good for them. I didn't know
I
that.
believe if I was going to say disc golf, and if it's not disc golf, it's ball golf. But I'm pretty sure it's a international female disc golf run podcast called Talk Birdie to Me.
All right.
I'm almost positive.
I
and
like
even
the
if they
name.
borrowed it from there, still love it. It's
good.
it's funny.
The Donady, which is Trinity Bryant and Rebecca Don. So you've got the a portmanteau of their name. You got Don Itty.
Mhm.
Okay. And the Mondahanos. Valerie Mondahano, Alexis Mondahano.
Which wouldn't be shown as possessive.
Correct. There should be no apostrophe in there.
So we can at least address the spelling here.
Have you talked to Grammarly? No,
So.
I think they can do better as well. Again, the sisters and brothers, a little disappointed in all your team names. Just saying. I think you get,
there's some options there.
I think we can workshop and work up to some better names there. You know. Whatever. So there you go. There are some TGPT exemptions out here yet for MPO and FPO. once again, Terry, I'm going to get you and I into this somehow.
Yeah, when I'm not on the sideline. Yeah, we just tee early.
Sure.
And then I go back out, get another round in, and do...
There would be no better research, Terry, than
actually competing.
Because I want to hear you on the sideline being like, ooh, that is 50 feet further and way less in the rough than what Johnny left me with.
Right.
So
that's a good call.
let me just say, you're looking better than the 5 we took in best shot.
I am very excited about being on site, assuming that's in fact my role, which I believe it is. I'm excited about being on site for that particular event. I'm hoping, and of course, it's going to be serious because there's points and money on the line, but I think it's also going to be a lot of fun, like more fun than most events. I guess maybe that's the ultimate question. How loose do you think it will be? Knowing that
I don't think it's going to be loose.
Okay, you think everyone's still going to be cutthroat, out for blood?
I think there'll be
typical.
It'll be typical Pro Tour. I feel like it'll be a
seriousness.
typical, even second round or third round or whatever. How many? I think there's
3 rounds.
3 rounds. I feel like the third round will feel more like a first round in the casualness of it. It's going to be a little bit more relaxed, but it's still going to be competitive. And I think these players, you are still going to be having fun. And as always, the more fun will be had the further down the leaderboard you are.
Sure.
If you're
in 8th place and you're out of it by 23 strokes.
Yeah, but if you have Gannon and Calvin versus Paul and AB, thank you. Yes. If you have those two in first place, first of all, it's going to be a hell of a show. But second of all, that competitiveness is coming out. You cannot help it.
Okay.
You know? What I do want to see is some people yelling at their partners. Like just going off,
like like friendships or families completely broken.
Oh yeah, like
the Mundahanos officially, even though they've played thousands of rounds together.
That's right.
Yeah, one's going to be choking the other out. Like, how did you miss that?
Yeah. I never told you were adopted.
Yeah.
You know, like
right. Okay. All right.
Mom likes me best, kind of thing. You know.
We'll
I want to see some of that.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
We will, Dust says, doubles event is like Risk. It will ruin friendships. We'll see ultimately what happens. The format's going to have so much to do with it. You know, there's obviously been conversations about, I think it's largely best shot or some form of modified. But again, we'll worry all about that's not until August.
Yeah, there's no worse shot, which kind of disappoints me. But
right. I'm thinking all the way back to, the Round Rock days when we saw the national doubles championship, and it was, at one point six holes of worst shot, 6 holes of alternate shot, 6 holes of
what is your ideal format for this event? Like, if
I honestly haven't thought that far ahead, but
I haven't either.
But what I'll say to it also is I'm interested to see what exactly the course is going to look like, right? Because that is so much a topic of the conversation. Is the Preserve is already typically known in singles as the most scoreable course on the whole tour, and it's just an absolute birdie fest that clearly they're going to have to do something to make it more difficult. And I think there's even been a video made that I might have watched.
I thought it was I thought they were doing like best alternate best or something like that, which I remember being disappointed because I would love to see best worst alternate. Modified worst, of course. Once it's in, it's in. I don't, But then again, with the caliber of these players,
worst shot would be kind of fun too.
Yeah, with the caliber of these players, you could do true worst shot and not really have, a huge, like, the worry about that is like, cool, we're getting into the dark, guys. But with these teams, you shouldn't have to worry about that.
No,
that would be my ideal, because I feel like if it's the Preserve that we know, best shot is going to be a little bit boring. Like, everybody's...
That's why I say, what are they going to do to the course?
And that's what I'm saying. If it's the Preserve that we know, and I don't know if you can... I mean, I'm sure you could stretch it out some or change some pins. I bet you Kale has probably had some input on this. But in general, that would be my ideal, because then you have all three. I mean, I want to see best, worst, and then alternate. I think ending on alternate is kind of, the way to do it. So...
Yeah, again, could have swore I've seen already or downloaded and actually watched a video about
I think
the
I
conversations
have, yeah.
about it. I don't know if it was maybe a Kale or a Simon something or other. I think I've seen something about it, and it's probably out there, and now I'm just not remembering. But we'll see when it comes to August. That's
a long
what
ways
I'm
away.
looking forward to, for sure.
A lot of time to shore up those names, folks. Get on
Yes, that is very true. All right. Well, with that, I think what we're going to do is call the regular show. We're an hour and 40 minutes in. We'll call the regular show when we come back into the after show. We could talk about any other odds and ends, things that may be disc golf or non-disc golf related, whatever comes to mind. And we'll go from there.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds great to me, Terry. Been a while since I've done an after show.
Yeah, you've just been...
Just been rolling with one solid show for the last...
Yeah, you have.
Just a good solid hour to an
All
hour
right.
and a
Well,
half.
I say what we do is we go through and kind of quickly review and watch what you did over those last 10 shows, and we'll score it.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I mean, it's deserving the way we scored the names that we just had. I think
you are open to criticism.
I'm open to criticism as well.
Fair enough. Well, one thing that we'll for a couple of weeks we're going to have a few different options, but I believe I have yet another one of the chain disc golf troublemakers. We've probably got a bunch of giveaways to get caught up on eventually, but I know this will be in the mix at some point, is one of the Chiang Mai Open discs that is called a troublemaker, and it's from Chain Disc Golf, who I had the pleasure of hanging out with in China. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the after show, but I had actually got to see where these are stored and made and hang out with the guys that make these over in China, and I putted a few hundred putts in the shop with those, and I actually I did thoroughly enjoy them. So we're gonna have one of those as part of the giveaways, and we've got a whole bunch of giveaways to ultimately get caught up with you guys. So we appreciate all of our smashies and everyone jumping in on that Patreon level at any amount gets you eligible for our weekly giveaways, and we'll talk about that more in the after show. So we want to thank Silas Schultz for joining us. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the entire crew down there for putting on the event and having a successful A-tier during what many consider as an off weekend from the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So congrats to all those that played, performed well, and also to the team for hosting. I had the pleasure of being there, like I said, in 2022, and I have a feeling people are going to continue to make that part of their swing when we're on that part of the country. So absolutely love it. For Johnny V, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. This has been SmashBoxx TV podcast number 600. Thank you so much to all of you who have been along, whether you've watched one or two episodes or you've been here for 599 previous ones. Whatever the case might be, we genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. So like, share, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the after show. We have giveaways and some silly conversations. I've got brilliant revelations that were made during my travels. You're going to have to hear them when we come back. We'll see you then when you step inside the Smashbox.
It's never too late to go back and watch all 599.
Thank you to our $2 and above patrons. Your name is listed below in the credits. If you are interested in being listed as a producer in the SmashBoxx TV credits and supporting this and other fine podcasts, please visit patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxx TV Podcast 600's After Show.
600.
I had to think about what I was saying there for a second.
Because we're so like the numbers are always so much longer, like 589 versus just like the word 600.
Well, just all of the words. All of the words were tough.
Just all of the words were tough.
It's
Words
been,
are tough.
It's been that long, and yeah, back in the saddle of our little podcast thingy here.
Yeah.
What did you learn while I was gone? Or better question is, what would you change and what do you reflect upon after largely rolling solo? And sometimes you had other people guess, blah blah blah. But what are your takeaways if you had to summarize after all of those weeks of you holding down the fort?
A couple things. One, it's a little bit harder for me to rally guests, as many people. I'm not friends with many of these people on Instagram. So, for instance, after the Supreme Flight, I wanted to get Taylor Chosick on. And so I messaged her in 2 different platforms, and they both went unread.
I think, AKA blocked.
Maybe. I mean, after, yeah. But I mean, because it usually says, sent versus read.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, because I don't have any sort of relationship with her, I haven't met her in person, versus you that has a lot of these connections, it's a little bit harder for me to rally up some guests. So having a little bit more prep time is important. I actually had to do, when I did have some guests, and even without guests, I did more research. I prepped the show a little bit more, because when there's 2 of us, it's easier to get by without as much prep. We always have the PDGA stuff up, and I'll always look at, the news and, kind of surf around on Instagram, but actually making kind of a show list to what I wanted to talk about. And I did something I don't think we've ever done.
Oh, geez. Well, there's okay.
My interview with Joel Freeman, I pre-recorded, because he wasn't feeling well. And he said he didn't want to be up that, because he was on the East Coast, and we started at 8, so he didn't want to start at 9 and go to 10, but he really wanted to be on. So I told him, how about we get together at like 6:45? It'll be under an hour. It'll give me enough time to flip and turn around the show. So we spoke for about an hour. I recorded it. And then when the podcast came on, I just played it. And everybody knew it was pre-recorded.
Did you intro and then play it?
Yeah.
Or did you just put the whole video live?
I introed it and then played the video like the interview, and then I came back after the interview and we talked about it. So it was just the interview portion that was recorded. It was really interesting and different. It was kind of awkward in that, I hit play and I knew I had now 45 minutes to
just sit there.
Just sit here, and I listened to the pie. I went upstairs, I got a drink, said hi to my kids and whatever, and then I came back down and, I played on my phone for like 15 minutes, and then the interview ended, and I finished up with the show. But it was unique experience to pre-record it and then kind of feel like, all right, now what do I do?
Sure.
So that was cool. And then I had Lisa Fakis on afterwards, and again, it was a little bit more prep work for the guests without having you, who has a more of a relationship with them, that has a little bit more communication, able to talk with them. I actually had to do a little bit of research and stretching out of questions and things like that. I prepped about 8 to 10 questions for each guest to just make sure I had, in case the conversation kind of hit a little low. Versus you, if you run out of a question, I'm here and I can ask a question, and then when I ask you ask a question, and our guests can go back and forth. So yeah, that's really kind of the summary of the weeks that you were gone, was just a little bit more prep. And yeah, that's about it. So
okay,
I don't mind doing it on my own. It's not my preferred way of doing it, but it can happen when it needs to. Just like, when I bail out on you on a particular Tuesday, you will go on and do it. So
yeah, I wonder if, well, I guess that's not really if there's a way in the future that I am on a continuously long overseas trip, depending on the exact hours, maybe there's a little bit of a schedule shift that, maybe even you and I just flat out pre-record at a different time,
for sure.
And then, like you said, a release 8:00 on a Tuesday to kind of keep that. Maybe there's some flexibility there or some creativity that we could come up with, or you could keep doing as you're doing. But I'm just thinking there might be ways to be a little bit more creative in how we still accomplish that if I'm going to be gone for some of these extended times. And funny enough, two of the specific weeks, I was literally landing in Chicago, like almost exactly as our show was starting. So it's like I wasn't even I was obviously on the road and really not available, but it just flat out just dumb or timing in that sense, where it's like I kind of was around, but not really. It's like me walking through an airport, after just getting off a 14-hour flight isn't exactly
ideal,
conducive or ideal.
And that's obviously difficult because when you're traveling, you have less of a set schedule. So you might, what is 6 a.m. for you, or, you might just be getting back from going out for the night. Maybe.
I mean, if I have bad influences, sometimes
I know
I just do what the locals want to do. And if they say, you're here and we have to go out to inns, this 7-story, 10-club place, like I would be rude.
You have to, when in Rome, as they say.
Yes.
But it is difficult for you to schedule time, and then on top of that, us to maybe schedule with a guest even. So it's like, okay, cool. Now we're not just dealing with one timeline. At least if you're in the United States, okay, you're in Bend or you're in Charlotte or you're somewhere, we can kind of arrange that even with a guest, either a guest on site with you or a third party. But when you are overseas, it's just that
13-hour times.
Because that was the thing with both guests that I had on, was just having what was their schedule. Thankfully Lisa was able to stop. She gave us the famous disc golfer in a car interview.
Nice.
Yep. But Joel was he was at a nice place in some house that they were at, and it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the conversation with both of them, but I really did enjoy the conversation with Joel quite a bit. I think he has an interesting story for the year coming up.
For sure. Good. All right. Well, if you want to talk about interesting, I have a few movie and both movie and TV series recommendations.
Wow. I mean, you have done a lot of flying, so that's usually when you catch up on your...
almost the only time that I actually have...
on your pop culture.
A screen in front of me that's not necessarily like a YouTube download of news or politics or current events. Those are the rare times, and it's usually pretty rare. After I have to exhaust all of the things that I've downloaded to then maybe go to the in-air entertainment. And that's... it's still only exclusively to like the 14-hour flight versions, right? When I'm going San Francisco to Taiwan or wherever I'm going, San Francisco to Taipei in this case, or Shanghai to San Francisco, and I have 13 or 14 or 15 hours, that's when it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to watch also whatever's on, I got to find some movie in here that I think I'll like. All right. Hot take.
All right.
My first recommendation of
do you think I've seen any of these?
I don't know if you've seen this one, but this is a series that I thoroughly enjoyed. Unfortunately, due to being in the airline atmosphere, I only have season 1. I think there's more seasons. But I would recommend everyone goes out and watches. Start with season 1 like I did. Ted Lasso.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay.
I've never seen it.
It's
clearly
good.
People have talked about it for now years.
It's so good.
But it's like so many other series.
Yeah.
I don't have
Apple TV.
Apple TV in this case.
But now it's on like Hulu or something like that.
I don't even know what it was on, but I think it was actually technically like an Apple TV through United, maybe.
It might. Okay.
That's the only reason I got to see it. So all these years, people have been raving about it for years. Understandably, everyone said how good it is, and I had no easy means to consume it.
It's so good.
So here's the follow-up, because I literally haven't Googled it yet. How many more seasons are there?
I believe there's 3 total seasons, and they are making a 4th.
Sweet.
Finally. But
good, I got something to look forward to.
You do. Season 1 is phenomenal. Season 2, good.
Okay.
I liked season 3 as well, better than season 2.
Okay.
But either way, it's from start to finish, very good.
Okay.
I think.
Well,
so you're not going to disappoint. And I will say right now, Apple TV is putting out some of the best series.
Okay.
That thing.
It is my other recommendation from there. It might be. So yes, I finally caught up with Ted Lasso. I know most of you are rolling your eyes because, of course, you watched it 4 years ago.
Yeah,
6 years ago.
Whatever that is.
I'm just saying I caught up.
Good.
I
Glad.
enjoyed it.
It's good.
So Ted Lasso season 1 is the only one that was in play. There's no better time to binge it than a 15-hour flight. Yep. So watched all of season 1. Next one. This one I got on the way back. I think you've referenced it. Maybe. And probably said that I may or may not like it. That would be my guess is if you've referenced this. I'll give you a hint. It's also not new, but it was new to me. Severance?
Oh, yeah.
I have now watched.
That is an Apple TV.
I have binged all of season 1. I don't know if there's more.
There is. There's 2 seasons.
I have watched all of season 1 in one sitting. Like
that's a slog.
It was, but it did make my 15-hour flight go so quick.
Because it is a good series, but that is not a series that I think is conducive to binge watching.
Right, like you could only take a week at a time normally.
Maybe 2 or 3 episodes, but like because it isn't the fastest show in the world. It is, a deliberate show that is just you're like okay, but it's phenomenal. And yes, it is.
So I have watched now
Apple TV?
all of season 1 of Severance. Thought it was good. So of course recommend it. Consume that.
Mm-hmm.
On the way there, one of my flights, I don't remember with all these flights now, but one of my flights I decided to go old school, a movie you nor I have watched in 25-ish or 30 years probably, maybe longer. I don't know if you ever rewatched it. You probably did. I'll give you the hint. We'll go main character is John Candy.
All right. Uncle Buck?
Right.
Oh, nailed it. I never liked it that much.
It was okay.
Like, just even back then, I'm a huge fan of The Great Outdoors.
Right.
I think that's a phenomenal. Uncle Buck fell a little short for me even back then. I mean, it's good, but...
I think I've only seen it maybe once, maybe twice, whenever, back in the day. And I was just scrolling. I'm like, let's give this another watch. So I watched Uncle Buck. It was fine. It is always, of course, interesting to watch when, some of these people have passed away and or you just know what ultimately was their overall legacy. And to go watch.
Did you follow it up with the John Candy documentary?
I did not.
That Ryan Reynolds put together?
I don't feel like that was available.
I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, then it wouldn't have been on my plane. Quick side note to everything that I was just talking about. One thing that was very, I can't say frustrating. One thing that was unique to me in this case, watching all of this stuff in regular speed. And I don't watch, I tell you, I watch 0 things in regular speed. Every single thing I watch on YouTube, whether I download it with my YouTube Premium or I'm just watching it while it's on, minimum is 1.5 speed. I watch a lot of stuff in 1.75, and if it's some of the political pundit type people, I'm usually watching in 2.0 speed, like double speed. I swear twice or maybe 3 different times I'm looking on the player on the back of the on the screen on United, and I know you should watch these things in regular speed,
especially something like Severance,
right? But I'm still looking like give me a 1.25, just speed this up a little, because thinking I've got 10 hours here.
I know I
don't want to spend 10 hours. I want to spend 9 or 8.5, but I watched them all in.
I listen to. I mean, again, I listen to podcasts at like 1.5 or 1.7 speed or something. most podcasts, not all of them, but most of the podcasts I listen to are like ours, where they're more conversational. So having a fast speak is an option. Or the other option is it also cuts out silences. So if there is a little bit of silence, it reads ahead and cuts that out a little bit. So I get that. I can't listen to some things at faster speed, especially if they have like a lot of music in them. And I couldn't watch a TV show. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't think I'd want to watch a TV show or a movie at a faster speed.
I don't know. 1.25 becomes like almost unnoticeable.
Correct. I agree, but and I understand what you're saying, but
so anyway, those were some of the things I consumed. Again, on the way home, that like 13 or 15 hours, whatever it was, 13, 14, 15 hours on the way home went by real quick when I ended up binging I think it was 10 episodes of Severance, which were all anywhere between like 40 minutes and an hour. So that definitely helped me get through them pretty quickly. So anyway, those are a couple of I figured Ted Lasso was a hot take for you guys. Again, that's only 5 or 6 years late. But
well, here's the next one I'll tell you from Apple.
That I can watch in like 3 years.
That you can watch in 3 years. Well, maybe you can watch the first season already because I think they're on the second season. Shrinking.
Okay.
You will love it. I guarantee you will love it. Like, it is one of those series that it's a lot in the same vein as Ted Lasso, the feeling of it.
Okay.
But Shrinking is so good. That I think you would enjoy it quite a bit.
Okay.
And what I've been watching
Main character?
Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
And it also has my God, he's been in so many other things, but this is the one I remember him from. Married with Children, Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea what his name is.
If you told me,
Mr. Darcy, the neighbor.
He's the neighbor. Yeah, so
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So he's phenomenal in it. And it also has, I'm trying to think. Harrison Ford is in it.
Okay,
and he's good. It's all around. It's just so good. It's so funny. It's very good. The other thing I've been watching is the new Scrubs. Always been a huge Scrubs fan.
Right, and
it's good. It's good.
Okay, I heard not as good this weekend, but
I mean, maybe this episode wasn't quite as good as the first three, but I mean, it's still it's better than a lot of what's out there. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It to me is
all of the same
cast.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, same cast. It's kind of crazy, but it is.
I mean, you got to figure they're all ready to cash in that check.
Probably, yeah.
Like, I mean, why wouldn't you be?
I mean, some of them were in other things, but
sure,
but you have got like your tertiary characters, like the Todd, who's always wearing the banana hammock and high-fiving, who I don't think he's probably been in anything major. I'm sure he was happy to get another paycheck.
I'm just saying, like, Zach and what's his name have been.
They've been doing T-Mobile commercials,
right?
So
like primarily, and probably have they're pretty typecast in that sitcom.
Oh yeah, I mean it
probably
is them.
difficult.
It is them, and so to me, I know a lot of people will go back and rewatch series like, I'm going to rewatch The Office or Friends or Seinfeld because it's like a warm blanket that you get into, and that's how this feels. But it's an unknown. Somebody else has been sleeping in that warm blanket I crawled into because I don't know this. I mean, I could tell you all the previous episodes, and I've rewatched it, but these new ones are new, and it's nice because it feels the same. It has a very similar vibe as the original series, so it's good. I enjoy it quite a bit. So that's the two series that my wife and I have been watching. And then, of course, I'm watching all the normal sci-fi stuff. Invincible came back on. That's great. You won't like that. That's a cartoon on Amazon Prime about superheroes. I have to finish, and Hannah Macbeth was talking about this, but I need to finish Andor, because I think I got 3 episodes left. I just haven't got around to it. And yeah, there's the normal stuff, a couple home improvement shows with my wife and stuff like that. But overall, yeah, that's...
When I fell asleep, I was just looking at United's listings. I fell asleep during Feckham Hall. I thought that was going to be hilarious, and I was genuinely tired, but clearly not riveting enough that it kept me awake. If it was like hilarious, I fell asleep during Feckham Hall. I thought that was going to be funnier. And I was mistakenly thinking that what's his name would be. I saw him live.
Doc says he loved Feckham Hall.
Again, maybe I was just really, really tired. But I was thinking that. Oh my God, what's the guy's name? The comedian. Anyway, I thought he had a bigger role, and he did not. Let me quickly scroll through what else I might have watched while I was on there. Yeah, I feel like I saw a lot of people watching the What If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You?
Yeah, that was...
I feel like that was on a lot of other screens, and I did not get around to clicking on it myself.
I've heard of it, so...
But anyway, yeah, so those are some right. Earlier, Luke Butch from out there in Samui, hope everyone's doing well on the island of Samui, over there at Samui Disc Golf in Thailand, asked what was my best meal of the trip. I had roughly 8 weeks in Asia, and I will just start by quickly saying I tried foods that I don't know if this is peer pressure or hosting, but I definitely, if I would have been sat down at many of these restaurants and you just gave me the menu and I open it up, I'd be like,
never order
like,
that.
Nope, that doesn't sound good. Won't touch that. Doesn't sound, not appealing. However, in many of the restaurants, at least almost literally every restaurant in China that we went to was essentially like family style, where there's 4 or 5 or 6 of you eating, and you order one plate of this, it comes out, everybody takes some. Another plate comes out, another plate comes out, another plate, and that it can be anywhere from 3 to 30 plates of various foods that come out. And most of the time I would ask, like, what is that? And even when it didn't sound like something I would typically try, I was like, I'm here. I do not consider myself an adventurous eater at all. But I was like, I'm here. I'm going to try it. It apparently won't kill me if everyone else is here and eating this regularly. I did get a message when I ate some pig brain that there's something that can be in brain that can kill you. And my host guy said, that's crazy. You don't have to worry about that here.
Yeah, I mean...
So,
I don't think I could do the brain. I think I would have had to pass.
It wasn't great. I had a little bite of it. We did, in China, we did numerous hot pots of going, they bring out a ton of food, it gets thrown into a boiling hot, a vat of water and or spicy water sauce, whatever. It gets thrown in, it sits in there for some undisclosed amount of time till you guys think it's done, and then you pull it out and eat it. Lots of different meats, tons of different parts, animal parts, and definitely some other plants and veggies. So,
yeah, Doc kind of nails it. He's like, I think if I was in Asia, I would need to eat it and not know what it was.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah, don't tell me. Just hand me something that's undescribable, and then I'll probably eat it.
Yeah, and maybe I'll get around to posting some pictures in video form and talking about it. But I think a good one like that might fit that description is when kidney was placed in. I think beef kidney was placed in front of me.
Yeah,
and it looks like some kind of meat on a skewer.
Sure.
And I ate it, and I was like, okay, I knew it was kidney, but I ate it, and I think if I wouldn't have been told that was kidney, I would have probably just ate it and assumed it was some kind of meat, and it was still fine. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, people eat kidney and liver.
It was the first time I've ever had kidney, though.
I've never had it. I had kidney beans, but that's different.
It's a little
that's different.
Yeah, just a lot of things placed in front of me. And then it's unique in that almost all of the fish and a little bit of the chicken that I had throughout just wasn't deboned in any way, shape, or form. So you're eating it, and then sometimes finding out the hard way. Oh, yeah, there's still bones in this, and I need to spit them out. I guess you take that for granted with most of the food that you eat in the U.S., unless you're going to someplace where maybe it's more anticipated. But for the most part, we eat so many things that are naturally deboned or removed, unless it's an obvious steak or something like that. So, good. Wow. I had at a hot pot it's not so much as a specific dish as at the couple of hot pots we went to. One thing that I loved is you go to what looks like a salad bar of just sauces and spices. And so you literally mix up your own concoction of dipping sauces.
I
and
wouldn't even know how.
Exactly. Because it's like all these random things that I also don't know, but I know where the chilies are. And so I have these super hot chilies. I had some of the hottest concoctions I think I could have come up with. Peanut sautés, some other things. And I think that was one of my favorite parts is like, it's basically build your own sauce bar.
Yeah.
And that was common at multiple places that I went to. I think that was one of my favorite parts about doing it. Just a really unique experience. And without a doubt, now that I've been home and now that I'm all this more cultured, we clearly need to plan a night of going to one of the few hot pot places that we have in the Milwaukee area.
Okay.
And having these experiences of all these things that are coming out. Lots of beef, lots of lamb that has come out. And then obviously everything from various seaweeds to mushrooms to, all sorts of other random things. Bamboo shoots. Some really unique things. I had some duck blood. At no point, the one thing I skipped, and you can say what you will, chicken feet. I've seen them in Thailand for all these years.
I've seen them in the U.S. too.
I haven't seen them. I've only seen them prepared.
Yeah. If you go to some
chicken.
of the there was it was an Asian like grocery store, food market down on the south side. Sure. It was near actually where I used to live. And so you go in there and they had some chicken feet in there. And it's but
nobody loves chicken more than me.
I know.
But not the feet. I just can't bring myself.
I'm with you.
I tried so many things that I never thought I would. And I couldn't bring myself to try some of the chicken feet. Apparently, Albert Tom loves them, is what I was told. When he was there, he bought some pickled/packaged ones to bring back with him and everything. He absolutely loves them.
Okay.
And of course, they're very popular. But they were. I can't bring myself to do it as much as I had a lot of other odd things or unique things. The other thing that I did not have in the Philippines. But it starts with a B, but not. I want to say beluga. It's not.
Please don't be eating beluga whales.
No. You guys all know what I'm talking about. It's basically like half fertilized, half chicken.
Like egg. Oh, is that century egg? Is that what they're saying?
Is that another name for it?
That's what Artie put that on the board.
Is that what it's not? What's the word? It starts with a B. It's not. I want to keep saying beluga. It's not. It's like everybody knows what these are. Philippines eggs. Balut. That's it. Yes, thank you. Balut. Just like a kind of a formed chicken. Like there's.
No, I know. I see it.
Insanely popular. Like wildly popular. I gave it a hard pass. I actually didn't even. I saw them being sold. I didn't get close. People love them, absolutely.
Sure,
and that's awesome. Every culture is a little different. Luke, is that you talking about? Awesome. Good for everyone that loves them. That's a hard pass. Did he try 3 squeaks? Yeah. That's a Philippine thing, is balut, and that got a hard pass from me.
Yeah.
So anyway, one thing that I also learned, this isn't what I learned, but I can't do that. What's that thing with the Spock? When you separate, I can't do that, and I think that is directly correlates to me being terrible at chopsticks.
Or chapstick.
No, chopsticks.
I'm actually pretty terrible with chopsticks as well, and chapstick because I don't like it. But
first of all, I can't do that. What's that called?
I mean, there's just I don't know what it's called, but that's
I'm one
live long and prosper.
I feel like so many people. There's very few people I know that can't do it like me. Right? Most people can. I know you're all thinking, oh, it's so easy because it is for you. Good. It hit me after now weeks, and like 9 different people showing me how they use chopsticks. I just forever may be terrible at it.
Yeah. I've been shown multiple times how to use chopsticks by people, and I'm just not good at it. I'm just as good taking the 2 sticks in one each hand and jabbing and just flinging it into my mouth.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to get around it with stabbing and almost scooping and forking.
Yeah.
Until it's rice. Until you're
when we went to Japan
rice.
and like trying to use it for rice, it's like,
yeah.
am I supposed to eat one? And maybe that's why they're so much skinnier than us, because they're eating one thing of rice at a time,
Right.
as opposed to me, who just takes a ladle.
Right. So, yeah. No. There would be moments where I'd get it, and it just felt funny because there's 8 people at the table. Everyone more than proficient, of course, in chopsticks.
You're focused
and I'm like,
on it.
And I'm like, I'm like moving it around and then like trying this method and trying that method. And then I'm dropping this and it's
they're doing everything and that's like second nature to them. They're picking up and chatting. You're focused 100%. Like, I'm going to get that shrimp.
That one little stupid piece. Yes, it is. It is not. Yeah, it was not good. They use the chopsticks like a shovel to eat the rice, not eating it by grabbing it.
I know, but
I mean, again, I clearly learned that some rice is just
sticky
more
rice
conducive. More conducive to being able to eat it with
rice.
it versus others. So
peanut butter sticky rice, yummy.
When I was in somewhere in Thailand, there was a family that was visiting that's not from Thailand, and I look over and they were using no utensils. They were just every single thing at this particular luncheon. They were just eating with their hands, and they had utensils. They had both chopsticks and forks and spoons and everything else right there. And I think that's just not part of their culture. And I was like, yeah, that's another way to do it. It's something minor that I learned. They don't say like bless you or gesundheit in China. So at one point when someone sneezed, a friend of a friend sneezed, I said to her, bless you. And she looked at me and then she eventually looked it up. And I was like, what's going on? And I said, I just said bless you. And oh yeah, we don't do that. Okay. So I thought that was something that was kind of funny. I am going to write,
because I don't really.
I'm going to write an entire list of all these unique things that I learned and or experienced. One of my favorites that it's going to be a little bit difficult to share. The abbreviated version is one way to say like a form of thank you.
Tongue kissing. That's one form.
That was one way. It didn't go over well. No, one form is specifically when we had servers bring us water or bring us more food or whatever. And there's a longer story to it, but the point is, like, let's just pretend this is the table. You sometimes either like tap or you go like this. And when I first saw it, my very first night there, their water was being refilled, and the person I was with was kind of like doing this. And I'm thinking, like, is he indicating like more? Yeah, like hit me, like a dealer. Like, yeah, hit me, like. Thinking like blackjack.
And so,
like,
so what Terry's doing is for our audio listeners, he's taking his hand,
his 2 fingers,
and rubbing them on his palm, basically, with his other palm face up.
Yeah, or you rub them on the table.
Okay.
As in, like, indicate kind of like a hit me, like you would see playing blackjack.
Yeah, it would look like
when you're saying like give me another card, like Anyway, to make a long story short. That's like a form of saying thank you. And it goes back to indicating as if you're bowing, to someone of royalty and giving thanks and recognizing someone, whatever. But it was just really interesting to see it, to have my assumption. And then I asked, what in the world does that mean? And to find out it's not a form of saying, hey, keep pouring, keep giving me more. Sure. It was a way of showing thanks. And it was just really interesting to see that. And so later in the week, when we were around a different set of people that were new to me, when something happened and I gave that, gesture, and they were just floored by like, oh my God, how do you know that? And it's like, well, I've picked up a thing or two. I'm like a regular here. So another really unique thing that I found is as a sign of respect, the
tongue kissing.
That too. No, I heard. No. It was really weird. I had to run from all these people. No. When you're cheersing someone, like you and I cheers right now, when you're cheersing someone, the person of highest respect, so to speak, their glass or cup is the highest, and everyone else
It's under
is
them.
to
Okay.
cheers lower. So you're
Okay,
always
yeah.
kind of, so it's kind of a joke. It's
everyone's
almost
trying to
like trying to
get-
go lower than the next person
Sure.
because you're showing respect
Okay.
for the other one. So you're going
Ah.
lower. Yeah, really, just some really interesting, fun cultural things. And then I'll just say this: everything you've probably heard about, like the Great Firewall of China, 100% true.
Sure.
If you show up there
Without a VPN?
without a VPN, you're not getting to Facebook.
Mhm.
You're not getting to X. You're not getting to Instagram. You're not getting to any of the. You're not going to Google. You're not pulling up Google Maps. You're not doing any of those things. If you're good, you downloaded WeChat, which is their state-sponsored program, all-encompassing application, and everything is done through WeChat. You receive your parking tickets through WeChat. You pay your mortgage through WeChat. I pay you through WeChat or Alipay.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for your food. Every single thing is done there. And another really interesting thing, at least in Shanghai, where I was for the week, is I saw exactly $0 of currency, of yen or won or Chinese
Nothing physical.
yen. 0 physical units of currency.
So you're saying I need to
Everything
hack WeChat?
was digital. Yeah, hack WeChat and you're into like
Everything.
a few billion people's accounts. Yes.
Sweet. All right, let me get on that real quick.
So the firewall, so to speak, is 100% real. If you need a VPN suggestion, let me know, because I and of course many others had them. But yeah, very, very interesting to just think like you can't go to some of these sites and tools and resources, just not available.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you didn't have a problem with the VPN?
once I kind of figured out what I was doing, I had no
Okay.
problems getting everything that I needed. So it was an interesting learning curve for sure. Go too fast on the highway, they just might text you a ticket while like you're driving down the highway. Like
Oh,
there's cameras, and you blow through too many of those cameras going too fast.
okay.
Ding! There's your ticket, just like that. So yeah, needless to say, Big Brother's watching for sure.
Yeah.
Some good that can go along with that, and some bad, and you have to figure out where you stand on that. I will just end that whole. I was in the Philippines, which was awesome. I was in Japan, which was awesome. I was in China, which was awesome. I'll just end I'll wrap up all this for now in that I feel like I was very blessed, not only to be with the people that I was with, Daniel over at Chain, along with Tony, and then Kai from Bernoulli Dis, Eric from eCoon, and Bird from eCoon, and all these guys. I feel blessed that I was in Shanghai. From just purely a technological standpoint, from a city standpoint, like there's obviously tons of rich history and culture in plenty of other cities, big other massive cities. Shanghai to me was technology-wise and new city look was something that I was into. The mass transit, everything else was just absolutely incredible. I'd be excited to see other parts of China, but I feel very blessed that I was in Shanghai, which was a lot of fun. So no tongue kissing. I will go on record and say at no point in any of my travels, not even my Australian buddy, no tongue kissing on my behalf in any capacity. So take that for
Sounds like a loss on your part.
or theirs. No. Terry, more discs flying in or flying out? Oh, that's actually a great question. It was a net negative in the return, meaning I took roughly 80 to 100 discs over when I went to Taiwan and then 3 weeks in Thailand. I took about 100 discs. I came back with only a couple. That weren't any of the ones I brought, actually. Those were different ones. When I went then to Philippines, Japan, and China, I went again with about 80-ish total discs. And I came back with essentially none of my own, but instead about 40 other ones, many of which will be part of a review. So, yeah, technically I came back with less, but A, that means I sold a bunch, and B, the ones I did come back with are first going to get a review, and then the new ones that remain will actually become available for sale. So I've got some cool content stuff coming out, or at least lined up, that will be shot when it's all said and done. All right. A lot of water hazards. Hope one is Ikun shoe. It's one of my faves in the bag. I didn't get an Ikun shoe, so to speak. I do have some chain discs, as I just mentioned a moment ago, and I actually have what I think is a really good interview and some disc information with Bernoulli, who's been doing some really cool stuff as well. So, such an honor to be surrounded by basically all of the major manufacturers and movers and shakers in China. You have Ikun, who has like 60 some molds approved and have been around for a long time. XCOM, who's celebrating their 20th year of disc related sports and being in production. Chain, who's making discs and runs the biggest pro shop in all of China. And then Bernoulli, who's a newer player to the game, who's got some revolutionary stuff coming out. So blessed that most of my time was interacting with all of them and learning where China disc golf is, what they're doing to grow, where some of their hiccups are, some of their recent successes, their courses, their leagues, their tournament players, the excitement level, ultimate scene versus the disc golf scene. It's all incredible stuff. I'm going to make additional videos, so I won't do it all here on Smashbox, but I'll do additional videos that kind of break this stuff down and talk about it more in depth, because it's absolutely incredible what's going on. Imagine a Page shoe. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Or a Page shoe beer. I mean, she was featured in. I may or may not have one of those cutouts in my. I shouldn't admit that. Yeah, I should.
No, that's fine.
I have collectible items, including a Page shoe cutout from the Dynamic Disc Open or the GBO a few years ago. Yeah, good. All right, Johnny, you've got random.org pulled up.
I do.
Do we need to do a handful? Did you do some?
I did not do any. Let's do 2 tonight. We'll do 2 for like the next couple of nights.
Yeah, and then we'll get all the maths figured out as to where these all need to go. And yeah,
you can support us at patreon.com/SmashBoxxTV, or, which is something, obviously, the weekly giveaways, which is smashbox.tv/weekly giveaways. There was only like 2 entries into that this week. Because I have not promoted it in a long time, because we haven't been doing an after show or the giveaways. So, once again, if you would like to enter for free,
no purchase necessary.
Smashbox.tv/weekly giveaways. You have to do it weekly, because I only take the last couple days worth since our last podcast, or you become a Patreon supporter and you're automatically entered in. We had a new patron just the other day, Jose Mendoza. Thank you, Jose Mendoza, who is a new patron.
Thank you.
I saw that pop up today. So thank you very much, Jose. But we have 96 people eligible for our giveaway tonight, Terry Miller. 96.
I love it.
What number do you want to generate? We're going to give away that disc first, and then we'll give away something else.
Yeah, maybe if I have another one, it might even be another one of those.
Okay.
But we'll get it figured out. Let's just go 1 and then go
one.
Click one more after that to get our second one.
All right,
so first one generated.
Very first one is 94. 94. Let me pull that up so nobody can see what the number is. Way down at the bottom, sorted by email address, Will Marsh. Congratulations, Will Marsh.
Thank you, Will, for being part of this and jumping on. And I do not see your address in there, Will. So we'll definitely have to
we'll reach out
what it is.
Yep, we'll reach out via email and we'll get your address. And then let's open back up random. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. And we're going to hit it again. Generate is 66. 66. 66. All right.
Who do we got?
That is Matt Schenk. Congratulations, Matt Schenk.
Thank you, Matt, who has been contributing for quite some time.
Very long time. Matt's a long time Smashy.
Heck yeah. Thank you
much
so much,
appreciated, Matt.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get some stuff out to you, both of you. And like I said, I may have enough to get you each one of these Chain Disc Golf Troublemaker putters. It's a low profile, low profile, and they just started making them in their premium plastic. The guy that owns the company was yelling at me saying, "These are for throwing. These are throwing putters."
Not collectible ones?
No. He he meant as in throw the premium plastic
putt
and quit.
base.
Yeah, and putt with your base level. I'm like,
Okay.
people are gonna do what they want. If they love your disc, maybe they'll putt with it, maybe they'll throw it, maybe they'll do both. I mean, you do whatever you want. Once you get this disc, you do whatever you want with it. But he was excited to make it in the premium plastic, thinking that people would make this more of their throwing version of this putter, and then maybe have the baseline plastic as for the putting. But again,
Who makes that disc?
you do what you want. That is from Chain Disc Golf out of
Disc Golf.
out of China, out of Shanghai. And in fact, if you're ever in Shanghai, I made a quick little video because, as I said, he has the single largest disc golf pro shop in all of China, and it is literally across the street from one of their courses.
Not a bad place to be.
If I opened up his window fully and had enough arm swing, I could actually throw it from their 7th floor onto the course across the street. So, you get I think it's called the 8090 complex. 8090, I think that's just their address, but the 8090 complex. And it's got a course, and then right across the street, you can head over to Chain Disc Golf. And he carries a number of your regular full-scale manufacturing, West Side, Latitude, Innova, so on and so forth, MVP, he's Discmania, he's got them all. And then he has also his own brand of Chain Disc Golf discs as well. So, yeah. Big shout out to Daniel and Tony and Kai. Just truly the most insane, gracious hosts I could ever ask for to spend some time. And I was going to say in China, really any country. I just cannot say enough about how gracious they were and how amazingly they treated me. So I very, very much appreciate it. So thank you. All right. Any questions out there on the board before we wrap it up? I see Colin says it's like the Old Hole 9 at McManaman's Grand Ledge in Forest Grove, Oregon, throwing from a 2nd floor balcony. And some of you know, if you've been in the Madison, Wisconsin area for a number of years, that before becoming Glide Disc Golf Pro Shop, which is the very well established shop there by Mike Batka, the previous owner of that same shop was Mike Newhouse, and Mike Newhouse had appropriately named the shop originally a disc throw, as in you were just a disc throw away from being across the street on the course over there on the east side of Madison. So very appropriately named. Artie, thanks. Good night. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Doc says, just glad you're home safe, Terry. Thank you. Thank you very much. I see more international travels certainly coming, though, as that region of the world continues to grow. So many great people. Vietnam is having, I think, their first ever sanctioned event in the next 2 weeks over in Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam is getting things going. Cambodia has just had an event. They've been having events for a few years. Malaysia is continuing to grow and to thrive. Obviously, the Philippines is growing. I mean, it's awesome. And it's awesome to see it at this level, which is still fresh, which is still grassroots, but just knowing 5, 10, 20 years from now, all of these have such incredible potential where you're getting this unbelievable, holiday/vacation cultural experience, and you're going to be able to go play some solid disc golf. I can't say enough about it. If anybody has any questions about disc golf in Asia, if I don't know the answer, which is possible, but if I don't know the answer, I absolutely do know the people that have the right answers for you. So please feel free to use me as a resource in that way. Right. I happen to. Anyway. All right. With that, thank you. It's been fun being back. Thanks, Johnny, for holding down the fort. So
As
to speak.
always.
We've got some exciting few weeks coming up as the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the major around the corner. Best of luck to everyone in Charlotte this weekend. Looking forward to diving back in headfirst into the United States disc golf scene, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and everything that's happening here. Lots of exciting stuff. We didn't talk about it much, but make sure you go out and find the growth report and the annual report put together by our friends over at UDisc. Some phenomenal information in there that's great for taking to parks departments, taking to other people when you're trying to convince them of getting disc golf in the area. UDisc continues to lead the charge in being one of the greatest resources that disc golf has to offer. So make sure you check out their annual growth report that has been recently released as well. You can find it over there on their website. So thank you, everyone, for joining. That's episode 600's after show. Good to be back. Johnny V, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you next week. You step inside the Smash Box.